safada relaxando. Vai na pica, safada sem vergonha. Vai sentando na pica, doidão de maconha. Presta atenção que o bagulho é doidão. Trava essa puta quicando safada. Senta malvada, quica malvada. Trava na ponta da pica e não para. Senta malvada, quica malvada. Trava na ponta da pica e não para. Senta malvada, quica malvada. Trava na ponta da pica e não para. Ai, senta no meu palhaço. Vai sentar no palhação. Vai, senta no meu palhaço. Vai sentar no palhação.
Naquele pique, só couro brabo. Me chamam de proibido porque eu vicio rápido. Combinação perfeita, sexo, cerveja e maconha. A novinha viciou, tá tudo curtindo a onda. Naquele pique, só couro brabo. Me chamam de proibido porque eu vicio rápido. Combinação perfeita, sexo, cerveja e maconha. A novinha viciou, tá tudo curtindo a onda.
Só socadinha, você tá dando vinho. Só socadinha, você tá dando. Só socadinha, você tá dando vinho. Só socadinha, você tá dando. Só socadinha, você tá dando vinho. Só socadinha, você tá dando.
Esse é o DJ Holanda, tá lançando a nova moda.
É o DJ Holanda, imã de piranha.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I feel like I'm sitting a lot shorter today. My chair is a little scuffed. Good to see all of you. That's right. We're doing Zionism against non-Zionism / Christian Zionism versus Christian anti-Zionism, which, let me tell you, one of those things is fake Christianity, okay? I don't have to tell you which one. I'm not sponsored by the Daily Wire for no fucking reason, okay? Good to see you, K2. Good to see you, Agrillapolis. Good to see you, presumably Anson, under a new name, but that's definitely Anson. I can smell him from here, okay? Good to see you, Section 230, first-time chatter. We always like to see some of those. Good to see you, Rage Page, the creative director in training. Good to see you, Big Soda. And good to see you, Lobster. And the good goy himself, Big Soda. How's it going, buddy?
I couldn't sneak in. You had a goy barrier around.
Oh, yeah. Ben Shabir told me to be on high alert. He said there was going to be trolls. He said there was going to be anti-Semites. He said to be on absolutely the top patrol. Okay. Threat level midnight. Okay.
That's fair.
So that's what we're on. In training my ass. Hey, everyone's got to start somewhere, Rage Page. Okay. Rage Page did do still the best job of moderating that I've ever seen. When the time when my camera and mic died, and it was so much better for everyone involved. No one respects me, Big Soda. That's the problem, you know? What's the problem? I tell people to be quiet, they don't be quiet, you know? It's like, they're like, what are you going to do, Confluence?
You just have to show him Daddy Khan.
I know. Gotta start taking names, kicking ass. So, Big Soda, I heard you are you describe yourself as a Christian Zionist. Is that right? Christian Zionist.
Hang on. I think it's a different terminology. I think it's well, I probably can't say it on air.
Oh,
I think it's illegal in Germany.
Big Soda, we know the truth, okay? And you know who else is a Christian Zionist? Speaking of Christian Zionists, Mara, there was no better friends to God's chosen people than Marilyn, if you think about it. Loki. And yes, trivia is on Friday, okay? For those of you who don't know, thoughts on Ice Spice? Is that like the one of the Spice Girls brand? Is that what you're asking about? I can't tell them apart. Is she the black one?
I think she's the black one.
Not that would be a problem. It's 2026, okay? Anyone can be a Spice Girl. You can be a DEI Spice Girl if you want to be, okay?
Or it could be ISIS going around throwing spices on people. Yeah. To lure out them illegal.
Rapper, I still think we're talking about Spice Girls, I think. Because isn't there like a scary spice and an ice spice? Maybe there is no. Why would you have something that rhymes? That can't be one of the Spice Girls. Ice Spice, that'd be stupid.
Yeah, it's a rapper. You can tell by the name.
It's got to be something else. Okay, is this Anson? Always be trusting. Yeah, it's definitely Anson.
Oh yeah, that's Anson.
Boomers. Look, I don't know my rap. Okay, I know my Spice Girls though a little bit too well for raps. But how's it going, Anson?
Oh shit, man! You know what the fuck, right? Like
Crotch burping.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah,
Shit, man,
I mean,
what the
shit.
fuck, right?
Yeah, what the fuck, dude? Like,
how's the bitches treating you?
Man, them bitches are costing me money. Fuck, I had to take one of them and get them fucking like antibiotics and shit, Fucking,
Oh, you said one
I
of
get
them was,
home,
like, sick,
and then the
right?
other ones doing the same shit, right? So I got to call into the fucking vet tomorrow and get more antibiotics. Man, these bitches are costing me money. I got to put them to work.
Is it like kennel cough, do you think?
I was just
Yeah,
about
it's
to say
fucking
that same
kennel
thing.
cough.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Oh, fucking course. That's
Yeah.
annoying.
That they don't appreciate it either. I get home and they fucking shit on the floor, like fucking animals.
I told my wife last night that one of them was sick, and that's the first thing she jumped to was kennel cough.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking too. But then I was like, I couldn't remember where Anson got them from, so I was like, I don't know if that makes sense or not. But
Yeah, I got them from a shelter. There was someone fostering them for a larger no-kill shelter in town, and there was a bunch of them. So
yeah, Anson does what like Stacy does. Remember Stacy when he'd get like really mad? He'd get like closer and closer to the camera. You're just like spitting directly into it. That's Anson's default. Okay, is just sitting that close.
Oh yeah, Stacy sent me this picture. You want me to show it to you? He said he tried to show it to you
No,
before,
thank
but you
you.
kicked him off screen.
No, thank you.
I got it right here. Hold on one second. I'll get it for you.
Anson printed it out and put it in a picture frame.
Yeah, it is very
I miss
Stacy
Stacy.
coded. I miss Stacy, but then I remind myself that I shouldn't miss Stacy.
Yeah.
So, but Stacy was a trip. Rage Page. Oh, this is about Ice Spice. She's a new age, lame, mixed girl, rapper, wannabe. Some of those words I like. Some of those words I don't, and I'm not going to say which ones. Okay.
Yeah, damn wannabes.
Yeah, he don't like the mix.
I no, it's the rapper part actually I don't like, famously.
How come you didn't ask Jacob the hard, tough questions yesterday?
Like the thing you sent me about why they built a wall over the pool in Auschwitz.
Yes.
They kept jumping into
That
it.
would have been a great one right there. And then showed him the trainer Pokemon card.
I'm sure that would have gone over great. Yeah.
Ask him why he keeps trying to trick God by building little ropes.
And then ask him how come that one summer camp they went to, they didn't find any disturbance in the ground at that camp. I'm purposely saying the name wrong so you don't get flagged, but
that's because Germans are good cleaners.
Stop them, yeah, that'll stop
Well, that's like that one N-word, right? From that quote. You want me to say that one real quick?
No, I don't. Sounds too similar. For those of you who don't know, it's a word that sounds like a bad word, but it just means stingy. But it sounds way too similar to trust YouTube over, okay? I think I have fucking kennel cough. Ugh. God damn it. Can humans get kennel cough? Is that a thing?
It's because you've been hanging on these panels too much. You just let anybody up. Caught something from the Thorpes.
Yeah, probably. Low key. So, who on this panel would identify as a Zionist, just so we can all figure out who gets the shekels today?
Any of us here.
Well, there's one guy who's a Zionist. This guy, that's right. Hold your booze, you cowards.
Can
okay,
you
at least I have the balls to
Zionism?
say it.
Well,
define Zionism.
That's what I was going to say. So that's the thing. I feel like someone's backing up, but I also feel like
no one's backing up.
People
Tell
confuse
people to go
Zionism a lot. Okay, so I think all Zionism is that the state of Israel, I think, has a right to exist on the land it exists on and as a Jewish state. That is my definition of Zionism. So when I say I'm a Zionist, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. We can send all of them over there. That way they don't bother us. I like that.
Yeah, I'm cool with that idea.
Yeah.
And then they
I think
can't.
H-Man was too, Loki. Loki, if I remember.
Yeah, he was trying to do that too. If you would have watched what I sent you, there was like these top ones in Switzerland. They were trying to do the whole deal so that they could go around the German boycott that they had, so they could purchase stuff through the banks, and then they would have sent them to that Palestine country.
Now, does Iran have a right to a Iranian state?
Yeah, of course they do. The Persians,
exactly.
Persians get their own state. That's the problem with all these wars we do over in the Middle East. It causes all the brown people to go into white people countries. We need to keep them stable so the brown people stay where they belong.
Exactly.
Okay, pause.
And you know who's favor
Rage
of that,
page.
right?
Rage page.
The
What
leftist
like
Blue Jays.
what is your definition of Zionism? Rage page. If you think I'm making up the definition, in fact, I'm giving a stronger definition. A baseline definition is just like Israel has a right to exist. That's like the baseline. That's like a normal dictionary definition. I'm even willing to take on more ground and say it should exist on a land it's on and as a Jewish, primarily ethno state. I'm fine with that. Okay.
Can we do that?
Threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, I don't agree with your,
yeah.
I mean, should we do that?
I think we
do that, Confluence? We do that?
If we were, I think it's totally fine for any country to limit immigration however they see fit and create the demographic they want to fulfill the destiny that demographics can lead to. But
we can't
I don't think
do
it's.
that.
I don't want us to remigrate people. Okay, so Israel, I don't want Israel to send people away that are already citizens. But I think if Israel wants to like primarily base citizenship on Jewish ethnicity, I think that's totally fine. A country has a right to self-determination in that way.
We don't.
This is a wild thing,
You'd be all
Confluence.
over this one, man. I think you'd be all over this.
I don't understand the right. Like, what grounds that right to be able to have this political?
Yeah,
state?
why ought a country exist in the first place, right? I mean, the only reason a country exists is because it has the power to defend its borders, right? If so, like what Israel's basically been doing to its neighbors is, hey, you don't have the right to defend your borders. We're going to go in and fuck with you and do what we want with your borders, right? That's pretty much like the entire history of the state of Israel. And eventually what's going to happen is one of those other countries is going to get pissed and say, well, you don't have a right to exist anymore. And based on the way that they've been behaving, there's nothing wrong with that.
I feel like y'all acting like I'm saying something special. Like Rover is saying no state has an inherent right to exist. Well, I'm not saying inherent. I'm just saying, like, obviously, I mean, it's not like these countries aren't attacking Israel, right? So it's not like people agree. Oh, my sound is louder? Okay, sorry. Let me see if I can turn it down. Or do you just not like what I'm saying, Rover? Is that you're just trying to trick me into...
He's saying turn it. Well, I guess that makes sense. Turn yourself down so he can stop hearing you.
That's
Glacier.
right.
Glacier is the girl I was here yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I tried giving you some good
Like-
reputation for.
Oh,
And that's
Ooh.
that's that one. And Glacier Maniac, to be clear, that's the same, not a different Glacier.
Glacier's that chick that's on Paige's channel. She's like one of Paige's regulars.
I know, but Glacier Maniac, does that sound right?
That might be right. I just know her as Glacier.
Glacier.
Hi. Hi.
Oh, okay. It is the same.
Hi.
Oh, look at that! She's coming to investigate.
What?
Hi,
You know what?
Glacier.
Maybe I should leave. Maybe I should
But-
leave. Let me
Hi,
go.
Glacier.
That's why I was asking about her, because she's in the back chat. And I was making sure this is the same person from
She came to
yesterday.
I
check
was
you
talking
out.
to you yesterday. Shut the fuck up, K2.
oh, I like this girl.
Yeah, she's cool. She was on that
she's cool.
Discord yesterday.
I'm too drunk for this.
Based.
Yeah, and you're too black.
You're in the right place. You're in the right place, okay? I got my
This is
rock
about
star
Zionists.
6.9%. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about Zionism, okay?
So
Yes, I think every state. I don't think Israel has like a magical right to exist, like more than like the United States or something like that, right? I just think that they have a right to exist, and I think it's totally fine for them to be on that land, and I think that they're fine to maintain themselves as a mostly Jewish ethno state. And
Well,
if
they
we had
like to go to
done
other
that,
countries and fuck
it's
it up.
fine. I think what's wrong is like again the remigration thing. You can't go
Why?
back in time. Well, I just think it's untoward. I
Those
think
who
it's
use the
I think it's
Bible for
inhumane.
mass migration is bewitched. Quote Cardinal Sarah.
yeah, I mean they mass migrated into our country. Well, we can just reverse mass migrate them.
Well, that's where I
That's
don't.
right.
That's what I don't agree with. I think if you've
Why?
been granted citizenship,
Oy vey.
I think it's. I
They
think
might
it's.
be a bit too entrenched. They did.
No, it's not entrenched. You just get some guys on horseback with some whips and some shotguns and run them on out.
They did like, from what I understand, is that the Jaybirds. There we go. Jaybirds did take over the. Oh, but fuck them.
Yeah.
They did take over Hollywood. They were the ones to start Hollywood, from what I understand. So it's a bit problematic if they still control that.
Confluence, if you can zoom this up so Glacier can see better.
I don't need to see it. I know that I saw the Jared's chat.
Well, Confluence, what grounds they're right?
Yeah. Glacier,
Did you say me? Did you say
Yeah. Like what justifies their
I thought you
right?
said K2, but I don't know why. I like if we're going down like an Andrew Wilson path of like rights don't exist, then sure, I agree. Sure, that's fine. That's fine. But that's not what I'm talking about. I mean, like, I think that in the same way that like we have like a right to like freedom of speech. When I'm saying that, I think that there is like a moral claim to the land that you happen to be on.
That's false. They're trying to go after that, Confluence. They're trying to mess with our First Amendment. These people from APAC.
They bought it. The Rothschilds purchased all the lands.
Yeah,
not all the land, but they
usury.
purchased some of the land.
So, Glacier, I have a question. As a nerdy Black Orthodox girl, how do you feel about Zionism?
Zionism? I don't really give a shit.
Do you think it's antithetical to Christian belief to promote secularism in the form of a political ideology?
Hold on, break it down. I really was serious when I said that I was drunk.
No, you're good. I guess as a Christian, how do you justify prioritizing a secular political ideology? And that would be Zionism. Yep. See, I agree. I agree.
If it's secular by nature, then no, I wouldn't support it. We've already become too secular as it is. We are lacking morality, and now we're able to do whatever the fuck we want, and we are more miserable than ever before.
Look, I hate secularism as much as everyone does, but
no, you don't.
But I hate secularism, but the standard still applies to like all these countries. Like I was in Japan.
You were a warlock?
Well, yeah, the warlocks would absolutely hate to first of all, I'm not a warlock. First of all, I'm not a warlock.
You are a warlock.
Warlocks would hate secularism. Like secularism is like anti. Like what?
So secular, man.
It's what?
So secular.
It's very secular.
What are you saying is secular, Glacier?
You being a warlock is
What is your definition of secular?
Pull up the definition of secular then.
Yeah. Warlock.
She doesn't know.
I don't think she knows. She says a naughty word. Oh, we got a super chat. Rawr, says Paulus. That's right. Ag is doing a good thing. He's supporting the car fund. If you think about it, and you should too, dear viewer. Okay.
Yes, always buy your cars outright, people. I just purchased my second car outright, and I'm still having to beat the shit out of my dealership over it.
Oh yeah.
I agree. I do the same thing.
Okay, secular, denoting attitudes, activities, or let me
do that outright.
My what?
Your Vista, your Scootfluence.
It's not a Vista. Okay, it's not a Vista, but yes. Outright, yes. Denoting attitudes, activities, or other things that have no religious or spiritual basis. How would being a warlock would obviously have a religious and or spiritual basis. So not secular fluence, Doomerang with 3 O's.
Secular fluence.
Not secular fluence.
Yes, secular fluence.
So technically the warlock gets a minor pass, but still.
Exactly.
I said a minor.
You could say that.
It's a minor for a reason.
But it's not.
It's
just anti-secular. That's the point.
Turns into degenfluence. That turns into what else would it? The final form.
Warlock posting. Yeah.
Yeah, that was the best part of your interview with the Jew the other day. Was him getting you to admit that you're into being a witch and everything.
I talk about esotericism all the time. I have literal tarot cards like beside me at any given moment. Okay, you know this, Anson. You've been around long.
Well, yeah, but I thought you just did it as a gag, right? But you were talking about like you actually believe this shit, and I was like, holy shit, he's not just making fun of it.
No, I'm not. No, I'm like super. I have a tree of life thing in my background. You think that's like for goofs?
I thought it was just like the thing you used to convince women to fuck you because women are stupid.
No.
I mean,
Hold on, I got an idea for you, Confluence.
The tarot cards and stuff
I
like
got an
that.
idea for you.
Alex.
Girls like ghosts. Be a ghost hunters like Zach Bangs from
Wait, what?
Whatever his last
Girls
name
like
is.
what?
Ghosts.
Like ghost
Glacier, how do you feel about ghosts?
No.
Spoken to like somebody who's never met a girl.
I mean, to be fair, my girl does love Ghost Hunter.
See, there you go. I got that ghost riz going on.
I'll be
It's
honest
like a
with you,
50-50.
I have too much supernatural
50-50.
shit happen to me. I can't stand ghosts.
See, she is a ghost hunter.
Based and red pilled. Okay. No, I'm not Wicca. I think Wicca is degenerate. Okay, Wicca was invented like 100 years ago. Everyone acts like it's like super old. No, I'm not.
You
I'm
are
not
a
Wicca.
warlock?
Wear black.
No,
You're
I'm
degenerate,
wear
but you
black
are
glasses.
a warlock?
Start your
No,
own
I'm
TV
not.
show.
I'm not a
boom.
warlock. To be clear, okay, I'm not a warlock.
Sorry, that's now ingrained in my mind.
I think that's a good
That's
move.
just his class
I'm
in
into the
D&D.
Western esoteric tradition, but this has nothing to do with Zionism. Okay, I don't talk anything about Wicca. People that associate Wicca with like tarot cards or whatever, that's like Wicca just stole a bunch of shit.
You know what? I think that Wicca might just end up being an umbrella. So it ends up being whatever pagan shit that people like. They just put it into Wicca and say that it was
Basically.
always a part of the culture.
Pretty much, yeah. Like unironically,
Okay,
it's like,
so that means that the tarot cards is totally Wicca.
No,
Or a
no.
warlock, and that
Warlock.
warlocks
No.
are
You're
also
a warlock.
Wicca also, that's like saying Wicca uses holy water, which they do, and the Catholic Church and Orthodox Church use holy water, so therefore the Orthodox Church is Wicca. No, the stuff I do predated Wicca by a long time, right?
I mean,
Wicca stole it. Just because someone steals it.
I'm
also
going to
the
be
demon
honest, the
worshippers
pagans
like to
do want to
take
take a lot of the Christian shit and then try to claim
Right.
that it was always pagan to begin with. So
Exactly,
I guess that's
right.
mildly okay.
Yeah.
Or mildly accurate, I should say. Are they wrong? Absolutely. But do they
And
want
the
to take
devil
credit for shit
worshippers.
that doesn't belong to them? Sure, that's what everybody
Exactly.
does.
And
Wicca
the
stems
devil
from a guy
worshippers
named
like to take
Gardner
the Eucharist
that
and
stole
use it
like
for
almost
evil
everything
shit.
and had no good ideas of his own.
What about that, Confluence?
What?
I said the demon. Well, you're gonna also take the warlocks and the holy water, but what about the demon worshippers that like to take the Holy Eucharist and use that for their satanic practices?
Yeah, first of all, those people aren't Wiccan, to be clear.
You know what
but
this makes me think
I
of?
don't know, pretty close.
Oh, you know what this makes me think of?
yes, Alice, you're right.
Satanism.
What does it make you think of?
It makes me think of the 1300s, where the French king wanted to ruin the reputation of the Knights Templar by saying that they were gay and actually participated in satanic rituals, defaming the cross, just so that he didn't have to pay his debts to Templars, because he owed a lot of fucking money to the Knights Templars.
Knights Templar. Didn't they just go to Sweden that became the Polish Guard?
Well, those that survived the torture, maybe.
That actually totally
Not the
tracks.
Polish Guard, the Pope Guard. My bad.
Again, those who survived the torture, maybe.
I was correcting myself because I said the wrong thing. I heard you.
Guys, is today St. Patrick's Day? I can't remember. I know it's in March.
No,
that
you're
passed.
way
That way
behind.
Oh,
passed.
I think I'm right.
Actually,
Good to
you're
see
all
you,
wrong.
Patrick.
You're all wrong. Today is St. Patrick's Day on the old calendar.
No.
So get
No.
wrecked. Let's
No.
go, baby.
No,
Confluence
I'm not doing
correct.
that. No,
Glacier, I thought you were
You know what?
Orthodox. Are you not Orthodox, Glacier?
Confluence
I am
drink.
an inquirer.
Oh.
I'm still learning.
Confluence drink. Drink
Again,
your heart out.
I'm also you're coming at me with a very huge disadvantage. I'm drunk.
And then
Yeah,
make
so
a phone
it
call
actually-
on live.
Look, I'll
and
catch
then
up to you,
record it.
Glacier. I'll catch up to you.
It
Yeah.
is
Do
St.
it
Patrick's
faster,
Day
bitch.
according to the old calendar today. So Confluence is correct. Thank you very much for recognizing my name today. Ordinarily, what you would tell me on that day is many years. So
many years, Patrick. Many years.
Thank you.
St. Patrick's pretty based.
He's pretty based.
Hold on.
Yeah, he was in the heart of pagan territory.
Patrick is here.
Is he the guy that led all those like rats out with like a little flute?
No.
Or is that the Pied Piper? I always get them confused.
It was snakes.
Pied Piper.
Oh, snakes. So there is a confusion. Oh yeah. Okay. So there are similar kind of figures.
Wait, Glacier, do you go to a new calendar? You go to what jurisdiction do you go to?
What? With what?
Like your parish. What jurisdiction
The
is
type
it?
of parish? It's an American Orthodox Church.
Oh, OCA.
Oh yeah, they're using the old
OCA.
Their new
calendar.
calendar. Yeah, their new calendar.
That's
They're
the new old calendar?
I guess it's like we have a tiny chapel and a lot of people show up there to the point where it overcrowds the chapel. So we're trying to build a new chapel. The last time that they counted how many people were showing up regularly was over 400.
Nice.
Oh wow.
It is so crowded in that tiny little chapel. We really do need a big chapel.
OCA is cool. They came. So I go to a Rocor parish, and OCA and Rocor actually came from the same split. Basically, when all of the Russian Orthodox people were fleeing after the Bolshevik Revolution. So
speaking of the Irish, going back to St. Patrick's Day, it's Wildheart.
Hi, Wildheart.
Wildheart, you're like Irish adjacent, kind of, in a way, if you think about it.
I'll be honest. I'm just trying to hydrate now.
So I am actually a quarter Irish. My granddad was Irish.
There we go.
Yeah.
He's a cooler Irish than Futoy.
Yeah, have you ever met this Irish guy named Futoy?
If I'm being I can be honest. I'm part Scottish.
Oh, sorry about
I'm
that.
not lying about that. I'm part Scottish. No, I find that to be cool as shit.
You got red hair too.
I said part, not totally. Part.
Which part? Which part?
Fuck if I know. I don't know which clan I came from.
The left leg. Yeah, it's Scottish.
That's why we're asking if you got red hair.
Fuck no, I don't have red hair. I'm black.
She's Scottish from the
I've
waist
seen
down.
black with red hair, natural hair.
Yeah, me too. It's really hot.
You're right. You're absolutely right. I didn't have that gene.
Well, you might be carrying it. You never know.
Well, I think she got the Scottish intelligence instead of the black intelligence, K2, based on our conversation.
Yeah,
Oh,
based on the
wow.
conversations, yes.
You know what? I can laugh at that. I can laugh at that.
I think we need to ask Wildheart and Patrick how they feel about Zionism.
Yes. Am I the only Zionist on the panel right now?
I don't think you asked Alex either.
You will have to explain
Where do I
Zionism
go?
to me. I've heard the term, but is it a religion? A Zionist?
No.
It's been co-opted by religion.
In fact, quite the opposite sometimes. But yeah, the video we're watching is about Christian Zionists. But Zionism, I mean, unless someone disagrees with me, Zionism is believing that Israel has a right to exist. Basically, at its most basic point. I add a few things to that.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, I would add to that.
So what's your? Because I said, oh, Patrick wasn't here. I said I'm a Zionist. What I mean by that is Israel has a right to exist as a country on the land it currently occupies and as a majority Jewish ethno state. That's what I said.
Yeah, because being British, we actually give the Israelites their own country back. Yeah.
Have we ever considered the fact that Israelites are just decentrists? Like they just want to throw a wrench into everything.
Yes,
I
I
do.
said that earlier before you jumped on.
Oh, good. Somebody actually spoke up about the freaking Jews.
Oh, I talk about it all the time. Hold up, Blue Jay.
No one on my panel
Blue Jay,
ever
you
does
gotta
that.
use Blue Jay.
No one on my panel ever does that. Wow. Thanks
on,
for
should
K2 for being the brave soul and
Confluence
speaking
has
up
the
against
number
the Jewish
one.
people. Amazing.
Confluence,
Incredible.
Confluence has been named the #1 anti-Blue Jay YouTube channel.
Is that your
3 years in a row?
Is that your
Oh,
doing
sunglasses on because
For
I have
another
bright lights, okay? Dan Morphy, okay, if you must know.
He's also got Taiwanese eyes.
Did you see?
Hold on.
I also have
Hold on.
Taiwanese eyes.
Glacier wants to see your eyes. Show Glacier
The
your
fuck?
eyes.
No, I didn't ask for that, K2. Shut the fuck up.
Confluence. Did you see the SPLC listed you on the hate crime map for hate speech?
I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh, and then the APAC's trying to take over the First Amendment by limiting it now. Very un-American.
I will
What
be
IJ
nice.
is saying, it's crazy that IJ got a channel strike from I think Sean Hannity and can't stream for a week, which makes me nervous as fuck about reacting to anything, because I think he was just reacting normally. I haven't talked to him much about it, Lutch. So I don't know if you stream without pausing, or was it just a normal the shit I do, where just you watch a bit of the video and then talk and then you got a strike from that.
Yeah,
So I didn't think you get strikes unless you challenge it and then lose the challenge. I didn't know you could just get a strike just for having copyright stuff, because they'll just claim the money.
I play karaoke all the time, and I'm on my 15th YouTube channel. They will just strike you, just as an order. Yeah.
Oh, geez.
I'll say
Emmett does that all the time, right? And I don't know if
he deletes his streams. He deletes his streams after.
Yeah. He deletes his streams?
Yeah, the karaoke
ones. The karaoke ones.
Emmett deletes all their karaoke streams.
Oh, well, I can understand the karaoke streams. Nobody wants to watch that.
Yeah, they really don't. Yeah. It's really awful.
But no, I would add more to. Go ahead. Sorry, K2.
I mean, I'm friends with Emmett, but yeah, I think somebody was joking about him being a bit tone deaf when it came to the karaoke streams.
A bit. It's his brand is tone deaf.
What bugs me is Emmett will know the song so well, but then it's not even just the tone. It's more he seems to not he'll know the song, but when he sings it, he's not even singing the words in the right cadence at all. And I'm you know this song, how is it? But it's if you hear him, it's he's never heard the song before.
It might be
pretty good when
he focuses. He over focuses on the words rather than actually remembering the song.
That's what I think. The only one I heard is unironically the nationalism song by the listener guy. I can't remember his name.
What?
Hello, listener.
Yeah, that guy's.
I might actually have that where he was locked in.
That's a good palate cleanser for this video.
Well, hang on. We asked Patrick how do you feel about Zionism. Let's get his answer before we delve too far away.
Okay, sorry. I was taking the time to eat some food while you guys.
Don't eat. You're not allowed to eat.
All right. I would expand your definition, because I think that. Are you talking about Zionism or just Christian Zionism? Confluence.
Just Zionism. Just Zionism.
What the fuck is Christian Zionism?
Where they hide the Bible.
Oh, so we have a treat for you.
But I thought you supported Christian Zionism. I thought we somehow pivoted here.
I've clarified this to Big Soda before. I am a Christian who's also a Zionist, but I'm not a Christian Zionist in the way I think.
You're a Christian? But I thought you were a warlock.
He's all fucked up. He's all fucked up, Glacier. Just mock him. Just make fun of him.
You can fix him, Glacier.
Man,
you
can't
can fix
be a
him.
warlock. No, I'm not.
I'm not a warlock.
He is a warlock.
I'm not a warlock.
He's a self-denying warlock.
I'm not. I'm a
self-hating warlock.
With some esoteric interest. Okay.
You can fix him.
You can't be everything, Confluence.
So
from
my
point of
view, how many masters do you have, Confluence? This is bad.
One master.
BB.
Netanyahu is his master.
Netanyahu.
From my point of view, Zionism is not only as you said, maybe you'd frame it as a political movement, but I would also frame it as a religious movement, because the Jews themselves also believe they have to own their homeland and they create the temple again, so that they can essentially bring about the Messiah and stuff like this.
That's not why
they run with that 60 million narrative.
That's not most
it is.
It's also not the history of Zionism, as Big Soda knows, because he's writing a little project on it. But it's still a big project on it. The history of Zionism is very secular.
Its origin started from a secular movement, and then
I know they're secular.
Yes, it did.
Tel Aviv is the gayest city in the world, but that doesn't change the fact that you may have secularists supporting this same movement that I'm talking about. And the core of this movement comes from not only, that's why I said it's a political and religious movement somewhat combined here, where you have like hardcore radical like Jews that are disconnected from ancient Judaism or ancient Hebrew, the religion of our God in the Old Testament, completely disconnected from that. Radicals that are in the modern day that still believe that, and also people with a political goal. So how do I feel about it? But go ahead. Somebody's trying to talk. Go ahead.
Sorry for interrupting. From what I believe, it's Christians that are trying to bring on the Messiah coming back, Jesus coming back.
That's
Christian Zionism.
That's to happen.
So regular Zionism, because that's what he said he was asking me.
They're trying to bring upon the third temple.
Yeah.
Regular Zionism is still a religious and political movement. Both sides are just kind of aligned. And no, I do not agree with Zionism at all, because mostly because the radicals, number one, even if it's a political movement, why do they have a right to that land in particular, or that state to exist? It's kind of arbitrarily. It's arbitrarily decided by the British, who were Christian Zionists at the time. And then number two, the religious movement, I think, is absolutely way more blasphemous if you're going from the religious.
Whoa! No, wait. The British have never been Christian Zionists.
They were certainly gave it to the Jews. Correction. Yes, they did support Israel becoming a state. They had their own hands into creating Israel into a state.
They were trying to carve it out. They were not Christian Zionists. That's insane.
They weren't Christian Zionists, but they facilitated Israel.
No, let's get more narrow. To say they were Christian Zionists, no, they weren't Christian Zionists. There were certain people in the movement who were very I guess, accepting of the Balfour Declaration. And so there's some British people who supported this, and then they used their powers to make it happen. It wasn't like a universal thing with Britons.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah, the Jews just bought specific politicians like they always do. So that's how they.
And let's also remember that the Jews were doing like the Haganah and stuff. Were doing like so much. Yeah. There's so much violence on both sides that the Brits eventually just threw up their fucking hands and they're just like, "Fuck this shit." They like,
they got the fuck out of there.
Like, and booby trapped them. They were like so much nonsense. They just said, "Let them fucking fight," and the Brits were like, "Peaced out." Like they didn't give a fuck at a certain point.
Wait, hold on. Did somebody call my name? I don't know.
What?
No, I don't think so. No, I think either way, I think that.
Okay, I'm sorry. I derailed everything.
I think that Zionist. It's K2 with his blinker on.
That's not my blinker. That's my radar in front of people, because people going slow in the middle lane. Let's go.
I think that Zionists and anybody that perpetuates Zionism.
Wait. Are you driving while being on this chart? Because that's dangerous.
Yeah, I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah, he's American. He's allowed to do that.
Who's going to stop him, Wildheart?
Okay, continue, Patrick.
They've perpetuated some of the most violent and historical regimes in history, specifically supporting communism all throughout Europe, basically resulting in the rise of the Soviet Union, trying to perpetuate that in other countries as well. And I think those are extremely violent political events that ended up happening due to the support of Zionism or Zionists. And if you want to really look at it like this, Adolf Hitler was a Zionist because he didn't want him in his country. He wanted him somewhere else. So I could even use him as an example.
No, you're right. No, the funny thing is that you're right. He was a Zionist. Apparently, he was just a tool for Britain.
Well, okay. To clarify,
that's why they built a wall around the swimming pool.
He wasn't a Zionist because he didn't support them having their own state. He just met with certain leaders to get them the fuck out of Germany.
I heard otherwise.
That's why they built a pool. That's why they built a pool around the.
Well, no, that's the best pro-Zionist argument I've heard.
He's not a Zionist. He didn't give a fuck about their state. He just
What was
wanted
like
the fuck out of Germany.
the Palestinian leader at the time that he met with?
Well,
that
I,
they always talk about?
heard more of
He wasn't a
that
part of the
Hitler was
Haganah, but he was part of one of the smaller factions. There's three factions, there's three factions. There's the Haganah that turned into the IDF, and there's two smaller factions that were a little bit more radicalized. And what I guess the worst of the two factions would have write letters back and forth to Hitler, and they were talking about, or he was trying to convince Hitler to get rid of their problems, send the Jews down to Palestine. And so this would help in their effort to kind of colonize the land, and then so that way the Jewish Fund organization and the settlements bought by the Rothschilds could have people that actually lived there and then colonize the land.
Whoa. No, Hitler wasn't trying to get rid of the Jews for that
He
reason.
was. There's a lot of documentation.
He was trying to
yeah, he was. Even Ned
No, wait,
and
no, Wildheart, no, this
Yahoo
is
said they were
this is
trying
true.
to
His,
get rid of
his
them.
initial policy was one of mass emigration. That was his original policy. Terminating with the Madagascar plan, which is blocked by a British naval blockade, and then he started changing directions.
Yeah, he kind of ran out of options.
He even what I was talking about is he met with like a Palestinian, like not a Jewish leader, like an Arab leader. I can't remember which one.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
To talk about, or they were writing letters or something. I can't remember who it was. I keep wanting to say Arafat, but Arafat I don't think was alive then, so it couldn't have been him. But it's one of those.
Yeah, Arafat's a common Arab name.
There was probably some Arafats alive during the time, but it's probably not the one you're thinking of.
No, Abbas is around currently. He's way too young too. Shit, he was born in.
Just as a response to Walmart, he was shipping hundreds of thousands of them to the Middle East simply to get them out of his country. That was the whole thing a lot of his speeches were about, actually, prior to this, is everybody else in Europe thinks they're such a great and noble people. Why do we have such a large disproportionate amount of them and everybody else is kicking them out? Somebody else please take them, and nobody else will take them. So then he just starts mass deporting them somewhere else.
Yep. Yeah. And then when he runs out of options, he starts to eliminate them.
The Grand Mufti of Jerusalem and a prominent Palestinian Arab nationalist. That's right. That's who it was.
Oh, I'll have to get into that one. I didn't hear about that angle.
Yeah,
he met with, I think I could be confusing the leadership name, but like Haagen-Dazs. He started.
It's a type of ice cream.
Yeah, I know. That's why I don't think that's right. But there's a certain leader. He was sending messages, or they were sending letters back and forth, and they were talking about Hitler had a problem because he was running out of options of where to send these people, and the leader was trying to come to an agreement to send them over here, and that would greatly help our political favor. And I think that they've sent 3 or 4 letters, and then I think maybe 100,000 Jews were sent there, and then it was shortly cut off by the British.
Yeah,
I want to respond to this chat real quick. First of all, I disagree with this. I don't think that. I do think the current Israelis have a relationship to the ancient Israelis. I do think that. I don't think there's a disconnected people group. I think there is a genetic link between them. But that's not what I mean. Even with Zionism, again, I think that America has a right to exist on the land that America occupies now. I think Japan has a right to exist on the land that Japan occupies now. And so I think Israel similarly has a right to exist. I don't give a fuck what happened before.
But they always have been existing.
The Nakba and stuff, I understand untoward things happened, but you could say the same thing about, Native Americans and America and all this stuff, right? It doesn't mean that we live in the present time. They have a country. They have a right to fucking exist, in my opinion.
Confluence, I didn't know you were Christian, but can I break it to you gently? Moses never existed.
What do you mean Moses never existed?
Wildheart, we've fought about religion so many times, and I'm assuming you've just forgotten each of these encounters. But yes, we've probably fought 30 times on religion.
Sorry,
I found the name of the group. It's called Lehigh.
Well, everyone gets triggered. Everyone gets triggered by the word right. It just, I guess, depends how you define it. It's not a feeling. I actually think they have a I don't know what other word to use.
Yeah, it's just your preference that they stay on that land. I got it. It's your preference. It's your strong preference.
I think they are justified in claiming the land.
Preference.
I think Crotch has a point.
So they're justified in taking someone else's land and then not get justification to that land?
No, in the same way that I just said, if you would listen, Anson, I just said that the U.S. has a justification to stay on the land that is currently on.
Yeah,
Japan
that it took
does as
from
well.
the Indians.
Yeah,
I
that's
got it.
called
Yeah.
might.
Yes.
Yeah, the Indians don't have a right to that land because we took it. Just like if the Arab took the land from the Jews, they'd have a right to it.
Well,
If
Confluence.
enough history passed, but you have to kind of draw the line somewhere. So that's why I
No,
think we
you don't
should-
have to draw the line anywhere. That's why I hope the Iranians win.
It's might. It's called might. We were
The
stronger
Iranians
than
will
the
fix the
Indians.
problem for us now.
But Confluence, would you say the Indians have a right to fight back for their land?
No.
Good luck with that.
No.
No.
Okay, well, I
Good
guess, well, what's the
luck with
difference between, well, what establishes the right for America to be on that land, but not for the Indians to fight back for that land?
I think there has to be a certain point at which you're like, okay, we're in a modern society. We don't want to be going to war. We don't want to encourage people to be, as they do in different places that I can't exactly name, burning down churches and stuff like this. I don't think that's something that you can encourage. So I think at a certain point, it's like, yes, history was red and tooth and claw, much like nature. And I think at a certain point, you have to say, these are the border lines we have. And yeah, so it's like, because otherwise everyone would have a right to fight back against everyone else for all eternity. And that's just bloodshed and degradation. And we have to eventually realize that we're civilized and we're not going to fucking do that, hopefully. Right.
But does Israel then have a right to send missiles?
It's not called might. It's
yes,
not called
it is
might.
called might. That
No,
that
it's
is
not.
the only reason. Yes, it is
No.
always might. Might
It's not.
enforces law.
What I'm stating is a moral thing. What you're talking about is how you reinforce the morals that I'm suggesting. I agree.
Yes.
That is sure.
It is absolutely why the Indians can never take back their land. They do not
Right,
have
but-
the might.
Right, but that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that even if let's say they did some terror attack and it was with the express purpose of being like, you're on stolen land, so I'm going to do a terror attack, I would say that's wrong. It's not.
Then America
it has
must
nothing to do with
retaliate
might.
once more.
Right, but it's nothing to do with- I would say that's a wrong thing to do in
No,
the
it's
modern
not.
age.
Apparently, the Indians have forgotten why they lost.
I think we're on a good topic, because would you say Israel has the right to start sending missiles into neighboring countries?
Only
We should
like,
walk away from Israel. Actually, if they're going to be missiling people.
Each issue has to be
Base
dealt with
glacier.
in
Base.
turn, right? I think Israel had a right to respond to, let's say, October 7th. Did they have a right to go as far as they did and to unalive as many people as they did? Probably not, right?
Like 75,000 Palestinians.
Yeah, according to the Gaza Health Ministry.
And I believe they got rid of
let's
some of their
avoid
own,
Palestine.
so they
let's
couldn't
just
use
say a
their-
place like Lebanon,
use
Yemen,
Why
or Iran.
do we avoid? Wait, why are we avoiding them though? Why
Well,
do we
well,
have to avoid them?
Because we're talking about sovereign nations, and so it's does Israel have a
No. But Palestine never wanted a sovereign nation. They never wanted to be even called Palestinians. That was a label that was placed upon by the British. They don't want a nation of their own. They just want to kill the.
Well, hang on. There's a certain point I'm trying to make with it.
Was put on them by the fucking Romans, right?
There's a certain point I'm trying to put on
racial
this.
ghetto being systematically exterminated because the Jews are committing a genocide.
Yeah, but let's look at sovereign nation versus sovereign nation. Does Israel have a right to go in and start bombing Iran's leadership?
Like I said, in each case, we'd have to get into the specifics of it, right? So, like, if we look maybe at Lebanon, right? If Lebanon is not doing sufficient action to curb Hezbollah from sending rockets into Tel Aviv, at a certain point, there has to be some retaliation. Just like the U.S., if the cartels were shooting rockets into the U.S., we would, of course, go in and stop that, obviously. Now, what would we kill a bunch of civilians in the process? Then that gets messy, right? What can you justify? What can you not? But I think every case has to be looked at. So it's hard to just say they have a right to do this. But yeah, they have a right to some proportional response to nations that are attacking them, right? Just like every country does. Right, any country that's blowing up another country, that country has a right to try to stop that aggression against them. Right.
Of course.
Now, do those other countries have a right to respond to that retaliation from Israel?
Yeah, that's why all the countries have a right to destroy Israel, because basically Israel's gone in and done that to all of them systematically. So they like every country around them has a right to destroy Israel. Thank you for making our argument, Confluence.
Yeah, what I'm saying is there a circular right that keeps happening?
I'm really trying to be good and civil, but I really want to troll the shit out of this.
They also invaded Lebanon.
But you kind of get the argument I'm trying to make. Confluence is like we're kind of stuck in this circular right of now. Let's use the two examples of Iran and Israel. Israel retaliates, Iran retaliates, Israel retaliates. Do they both have a justification or a right to do so?
Well, no, like, so when you say retaliate, like that, I feel like that word is going to mean a lot of things, right? What I'm saying is that, let's say like Hezbollah is attacking and killing civilians, right? They're not, let's say because they're not attacking military targets. They're just like, maybe you could say they don't have the sophistication to, or a skill issue or whatever, but they're not, right? They're just attacking random places and hitting civilians and with no aim for military targets really at all.
That's not true. They blown up 20 Israeli tanks in the past 2 weeks.
No, he's talking about Hezbollah?
Yeah, Hezbollah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
In Lebanon?
Yeah, in Lebanon.
Israel
right
too.
now, they're fighting.
Yeah,
they're
they
fighting
invaded
the Israelis.
Lebanon.
In Lebanon, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying when Lebanon is sending rockets into Tel Aviv, they don't really give a fuck what they hit.
Why are they
right?
doing
They're just
that?
sending. That's my point is that you can't do that. That's why I'm saying retaliation becomes like a weasel word at a certain point, because I'm not saying that. I'm not saying
it's not
that.
a weasel
Just
word.
let me fucking explain, and then maybe you can respond. How about that? Just so we could like maybe because I'm talking to like 6 people. Okay, so maybe I could.
Well, I think what you're saying
out.
here is. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Can I try to say what you're saying here? Maybe.
Do it, Confluence. Do it.
Maybe I could say what I'm saying. Is
Say
that
what you're
okay?
saying, Confluence.
Is that
Say it.
okay? Can
That's
I
fine.
say what I'm saying?
Well, I'm
maybe?
trying to
and then
That's fine.
Basically, everyone shut the fuck up and let him speak.
What,
So,
are you
like,
sure,
I'm just
Wildheart?
trying
Is that
to
what he
say-
meant?
retaliation is a difficult word because, for example, with like 9/11, I'm not saying we have a right to go after 9/11 and just go kill a bunch of them because they killed a bunch of us. But do we have a right to try to find the group that did this and stop them? Yes. So I don't think that's the circle of violence necessarily that Big Soda's talking about. Because I would agree with Big Soda that we shouldn't have this like strike for strike mentality, because that'll just never end. So it's not like when October 7th happens, we shouldn't be like, we'll go and kill a bunch of Palestinian civilians in exchange. We shouldn't be doing that. But again, if the cartel was shooting missiles across the U.S. border, we would absolutely go in and try to stop those specific cartel members from shooting missiles at us, right? So attacking their missile stuff, I think that would be fine, right?
Well, that checks out.
Sorry, can I rudely interrupt? Can I just say Doomerang in the side chat? Fuck right off. He keeps having a go at me for some reason.
All right.
So you handle that in the side chat, and we'll
I have
stay on
something to say.
time.
So the reason why Hezbollah is doing what they're doing is because the Jewish ethno-state of Israel has been permanently occupying portions of what belongs to the Lebanon Shia, and they are fighting the occupation that is basically persistent and perpetual, and the only way to do that is through guerrilla tactics because they are outgunned and outmanned. And I think it's perfectly justified to fight for land that's been taken from you. So I don't have a problem with that at all. I think they're patriots.
Yeah, of course you would. And yeah, Patrick, as he's writing, yes. I mean, yeah. That's
technically, the land wasn't taken from them. It was British land that we stole legitimately. And then we gave it to the Israelites. You know what I mean? So it's not technically land that had been stolen. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I guess what I'm getting at is because retaliation, it's all based on your self-justification for an action done against you. And it seems like with Israel, we're stuck in a loop between places like Iran, Yemen, and Lebanon, where they each of these countries are justifying what they view as retaliation. And so it's kind of this cycle, it's this circular right that we have to keep responding to what we view as an aggression against us. And it seems like the further we keep going in this, the worse it's getting.
I don't deny that. I don't deny that, but there's still conversation to be had about like what do you do when somebody attacks you, right? Like, I think we'd all agree with the U.S.-Mexico example that we would feel justified in going in, and I think there would be a sincere justification. I don't think it would just be like some self-justification. If Mexico was bombing us, we would go and stop that, right? And so I understand we don't want the cycle of violence to continue, but there has to be some level of, I can't remember how we got on this topic of retaliation or not, but
I think I brought it up because I brought up like I was trying to take you down. I guess the rights side of it. So the right to retaliate, and so I think that's what spiraled the retaliation argument.
yeah. And again, I just want to be clear. By retaliation, I reject of just like a tit for tat in a civilian context.
Yeah.
Tit for tat in a military thing, then it's like whatever. You know what I mean? It's like whatever. That's gonna happen.
Oh, I agree with that, and I agree with you, America and Mexico.
Escalation of force.
Let's be honest, like the fact that we've been avoiding force as much as possible in the recent history has been such a detriment.
Agreed.
Yeah, we're surrounded by feminine, unexceptional whites. It's terrible.
Fuck yes.
I don't know who agreed with me,
don't
but
talk
fuck
about
yes.
Lionheart that way.
I'm just saying this is just like we have the power and we've always had the power and we have chosen not to use it. So all these people decide to step all over us saying that we need to also placate to them, even though they have no guns to prove that they have power over us. Let's use our guns. Guns are nice. You know what? Let's use guns.
Yeah, but
Glacier,
diplomacy
are you
is.
a neocon by any chance?
Neocon? Fuck no.
She just gave the most neocon argument I've ever heard.
Is it weird that Lionheart might have the highest free testosterone count on the panel?
I
Sorry, whoa, hold your horses, okay, boy. It's wild.
Buddy, look, you're like a sandwich away from being inbred. I don't need any attitude from you, sir.
Yeah, it's wild heart. Not
Yeah, I gotta stop eating
Bro, I'm looking at you right now, and you are the cure for an erection lasting longer than 4 hours, sir. That's all I can say.
Oh no,
Please talk to a doctor before taking Ironheart.
It's not Ironheart. It's not Lionheart. It's Wildheart. You fucking ignorant American fuckwit.
Hey, Iron Boot, quiet down.
I'm gonna call you Deli Meat because you're most likely inbred. That's your nickname, Deli
Not
Meat.
the Deli Meat.
I'm not inbred.
Look at you, bro.
Why are we going? Why are we? Why did you wake up and choose violence again, dude? Why?
Me and the lady were getting along, and he's just sitting there with this unwarranted incel confidence, and I'm not going to stand for it.
Sorry, I was muted. I wasn't saying a fucking thing. Just stop getting my fucking name wrong, you fucking idiots. It's Wildheart. Wildheart.
Bro, can you just look at the camera, and I want you to start singing na na he na ya ha na ya hu na ya ha.
Why don't you go and fuck yourself?
I don't think that the thought hasn't crossed my mind, sir. I'm not above it if I could.
So, dude, I think you don't know something about Wildheart. You see, he's got like a severe alcoholism, and it's caused brain damage, and he's got wet brain.
Can we all calm down, please? Can we calm down? Like for real? Like fuck me.
Well, let's ask the dude about Zionism.
Sorry, Confluence. I'm not actually upset. I just get like
I'm upset. I'm upset.
Sorry.
Well, my point is that he's mentally defective. So take it easy on him because he can't help it.
No, I pretend to be angry just to get a rise out of people. Do you know what I mean?
That's actually rather brilliant. I'm not going to lie. That's a pretty epic trolling tool. Because then you gave me some unwarranted confidence. I'm thinking like, oh, I'm about to step on this guy, and then I realize you don't care. Now my master plan.
Comments, Keelan. I see everyone's comments. I just choose to ignore the anti-Semitic ones, so I haven't pulled any of yours up, Keelan.
Who was the lady that said hell yes? I don't know who that. I've never talked to her.
Oh, that's Glacier the neocon.
I'm not a neocon. Fucking hell. What is wrong with you?
One day you'll see the truth.
I'm not going to be a fucking neocon. Fuck them fucking neocons. What is
why don't you call?
You still even said you said the most neocon thing ever. You said we
tell Confluence he's a
decades.
Tell Confluence he's a neocunt.
Neocon bullshit. No. Fuck that.
Yeah, Khan's a blind Jew warlock.
Yeah, exactly. I am. Yeah, it's better to be selectively anti-Semitic than just like full out 10 toes down anti-Semitic. If you think about it, Kiki. Okay.
Well, see, I believe in fairness, so I'm anti-Semitic against them all.
I was, you know, what's weird. I was never a fan of the Jews before it was fashionable. I'm just not for like the eradication of an entire race of people.
Yeah.
Okay, but nobody ever eradicated all the Jews.
No, he was talking about the Palestinians.
Oh, the Palestinian. Well, that's Islam.
But that's Semitic.
Well,
Are we doing the etymological fallacy right now? Is that what we're doing?
No, Confluence. You can't just slap the fallacy on the end of every word and get to claim a new fallacy.
That's not a new fallacy.
Why are you making up fallacies, Confluence? You're casting
fallacies.
The shoebox fallacy.
I heard that too, actually. Eradicated. I did hear that.
Has anyone here actually lived near like a large population of Jewish people?
No.
I try not to.
I go to the Jewish center sometimes, and I said this before. I went there and they were all singing Hava Nagila, and that sounds like I'm joking, but that's actually a real thing that happened. And I was so into it. I was singing, I was fucking dancing.
Did they have you in a chair up in the air?
I was waving an Israeli flag, and this is all true. I'm not. This sounds like a joke, but everything I'm saying is actually true.
That is a great song, by the way.
There's an Israeli terrorist.
I have pictures.
There's an Israeli terrorist training center somewhere in central Canada. That's what we know today.
It's not. It's a cultural center, I think. Okay.
You guys were doing
I actually have a photo because there was Palestinians protesting, and I have a photo of me in the forefront with an Israeli flag with the Palestinian protesters in the back, because I thought it was really shitty. Because it was just a cultural thing. It wasn't like some like pro-Israel thing. It was like literally a celebration of like Jewish culture, and people decided to protest it. It's like, fuck off. It's like when people, the same way with like when you have like, because stuff has been canceled in Canada for like when it's like a Russian thing, and it's like it's celebrating like Russian culture, and people will protest and try to get it canceled, and it's like, fuck that gay shit. Like, what, you can't have like you can't be proud of like Russian culture. Like, that doesn't mean you're like pro Russia war, you know, or pro the modern state of Russia.
Is anybody proud of Canada?
I always say that about Confederate Memorial Day, and then everybody jumps on me about it, bro. It's just Happy Confederate Memorial Day, you know?
Yeah, I celebrate that too.
I agree with you guys. Being a British man, I am proud of Canada because we own them. Like we own them.
You don't own shit. Come and take it.
I'm gonna be honest. Canada could probably fucking whoop Great Britain
easily. If you see their sniper records, we could probably get one across the fucking Atlantic in a second.
Yeah, you got to watch out for them war crimes too. Canada's wild.
We'll fuck you up.
Wildheart's just waiting for 40 acres and a moose.
Alberta is the Texas of Canada. Yeah, definitely not Nova Scotia. Definitely Alberta. Yeah, the oil, the cowboy hats, etc., etc.
I used to party in Prince Edward Island, if you know where that is. Confluence.
Oh, I've freaking been there. I drove across the bridge, the Confederation Bridge, into PEI. Went to Charlottetown. Yeah,
a bridge named after a Civil War.
It's a super long bridge. It's like, it's crazy because it's like, it's not. It takes like, I don't know. I was this is a long time ago. I think it takes like 45 minutes to drive across the bridge. Like, it's like that's how big the bridge is. It's like, it's crazy.
Wow, that's a long bridge.
Yeah, I could be slightly off on the time, but it is something like that. It's somewhere between like 30 minutes and an hour. It would be my guess.
Wildheart, are you in late stage? I'm not even joking. I'm being serious. Like, do you have a problem with alcohol consumption?
Yes, I'm waiting to go into detox in the next 2 weeks. Yeah, I am.
Oh shit!
No, seriously, I am dependent on alcohol. Yeah,
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm honestly sorry to hear that.
Thank you, but we don't have to talk about it. Carry on about the Canadian.
Yeah, of course. Fuck Canada. Fuck Canada. There we go.
No. Fuck Great Britain.
I don't like that Canada of Canada Goose is in Canada Geese. I'm confused about that.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Are you in the US or are you in Britain?
I'm in Britain, yeah, England, Manchester.
Oxymorphone cat. How's it going?
Yeah. Hey, Farmer Cat. Good to see you. And thank you. I do appreciate the concern.
Do you have an advocate over there trying to get you a bed?
Yeah, all the funding is paid for. I am going into detox in the next 2 weeks. Yeah.
Thanks. I love to hear it.
Weren't you going into detox in like the next couple of days when we talked to you like a month ago?
No, he was trying to get in, I think, right?
Yeah, my social worker kind of fucked up a bit, but they've got it sorted now, so it'll definitely be the next 2 weeks. But we don't have to talk about it. I don't want to take over the channel then.
No, I'm a sober guy, Wild Art. That's I've been there. I get it. That's why I empathize. I'm sorry for what
panel is even an addict.
What did you say?
You've been an addict for 20 years? Fuck off. That's a Confluence quote. It's a Confluence quote. Don't hit me with
dude. I was talking about being an alcoholic, and Confluence was like, that's not even anything. How long has it been? Like 20 years or whatever. He was basically making fun of me, calling myself an alcoholic that was sober. And yeah.
All right. Yeah,
that's his perspective.
Everyone jumped on me so hard.
Why am I having a debate with somebody in the chat about the Janissaries? I'm too drunk for this.
Yeah, you don't read the chat.
No, I have to now.
The fuck is a Janissary?
Oh, what you all have to do? Yeah,
part of Balkan history. The Janissaries were the boys that were taken by Christian families and enslaved to serve the Sultan in the Ottoman Empire.
All right, that's what I was going to ask. What are the
Kiki, get on panel so I can rip your fucking balls off, okay?
So
Stop
that
chirping
dude, the prompt is, how do you feel about Christian Zionism?
That's like saying how do you feel about tall. That's saying how do you feel about tall midgets.
I thought we went over this.
No, that dude knew.
A dude.
So
when I got it was just Zionism. Now it's Christian Zionism. I got a completely different take now.
Well, Confluence is he's muddling up the term. He's trying to justify being, Zionist and Christian.
You asked the dude if he was Christian Zionist. I separate them. I'm a Christian Zionist. So I'm a Christian and a Zionist. I'm not a compound Christian Zionist in the way like Ted Cruz is.
And
okay. Well, how do you feel about Zionism?
How does this work?
All the new people that come on panel will generally ask them their opinion.
I've had so many chats. How dare you?
Why are you
I'll rip your
ignoring the
balls
chat?
off too. I'll give you a 2-for-1 deal. I'll rip you and Kiki's balls off if you both come up. Okay, 2 for the price of 1. How about that? Nom nom.
Well, you got to make it gay.
I just I don't necessarily know if either Judaism or Islam really. I don't want to say I don't know if they have a place in the. I don't know if they mesh well with what I would consider to be American culture.
Oh, actually,
Kiki, how's it going, Kiki?
Sure. Confluence, can I ask you a question?
Absolutely.
Are you a Zionist because you want Israel to be destroyed? Then Jesus?
No, he wants the Daily Wire to buy his channel.
No, okay.
No, I do not want Israel to be destroyed. That's the really crazy type of Christian Zionism where it's like you actually kind of low-key hate the Jews and you're just like kind of using them because you think it'll fulfill end-time prophecies. That's fucked up.
Yeah.
So the video we're gonna watch, I mean, hopefully we do watch some of it. Oh, we still got time. I got like another 2 hours because the video, I'm not sure because the video is called like Christian Zionists versus Christian anti-Zionists, and I don't know if the Christian Zionists are gonna be. Because even like Ted Cruz is not that type, even though he does believe that like those who bless the nation of Israel will be blessed and all that stuff. He thinks all the prophecies apply, but it's not like he wants to see the Jews wiped out. But some people actually do think that.
Well, that's where I think the Christian Zionists. Sorry, go ahead, Valder.
No, I was just going to say, I know Ted Cruz is like mental. Do you know what I mean? I think
he means well. I think he means well. Okay. I think he means well.
Yeah.
I think that's.
I also think he's low key the Zodiac killer as well. I do believe that.
He's
in my heart of hearts.
Do you think that there's a reason that careers in politics, like forget term limits, like after how many years as part of the political machine do you think it is before somebody inevitably starts to lose touch with reality?
Depends. It really
Yeah.
does depend on the individual. But if you're stepping into politics, you might have already been compromised from the get-go.
Can we think of anyone who's had a 20-year run in politics who hasn't been either corrupted or disassociated?
Ron Paul.
No.
Yeah, I have
Sanders.
one, but he's not still in office. And I
Ron
think
love that
Anson
both
said it,
had the
Ron
same
Paul.
answer, Anson. I love that, buddy. Ron
Yeah.
Paul, baby.
Well, the problem is really democracy if you think about it.
Yeah,
Based.
you're right.
Absolutely.
Based.
Absolutely.
Based?
Democracy
Like-
is a problem.
Based?
These
Yes,
politicians are
democracy
always
has
trying to
In a
appeal.
problem.
Politicians are trying to appeal to the current moment, trying to get people on their side for their next election. Like if we had longer terms, it would be a
Yep.
lot better, I think.
Or if we had
Australia
a
has a very
Christian-led monarchy, perhaps.
Longer terms. Let's go. Christian monarchy. Let's get
Yeah,
it.
Australia has a
King.
very interesting thing where they limit how long people can campaign for. I think it's like 3 months you can campaign before elections.
Yeah, but they do the opposite of what's good, where they force everyone to vote and they punish you if you don't vote. That's the opposite.
We
of
talked about that. Yeah, I'm with you. I think that's bull. I'm just pointing out one thing they seem to do well. Like, you know, we can call balls and strikes.
Yeah, I mean, if you just eliminated elected offices, it would do the same thing too. There would be no campaigning then. That'd be even better.
Based. That's what I like to
Based and
hear.
true. Based and true. Lifelong
What?
terms.
Confluence.
What?
The reason,
What?
the reason there's so much support for like places like Iran, China, all the other countries we fucked over like Venezuela, is because their complaints about the U.S. are grounded in reality.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Wait, what? What?
Yeah,
What are
it's
their
it's nothing to do with
because their
anti-American
countries are
sentiment.
still shit.
Would you like me to read a portion of this book that the Ayatollah wrote in the 1980s?
Yeah, that would be
I-
awesome.
I actually wouldn't. Actually, I
It's
don't know if I
not-
would.
Can you link it in
Or
the
we
side
can
chat? I want to
No,
get
it-
Saddam
Wait,
Hussein.
wait,
not-
what?
It's not TOS. It's not
Bro,
TOS.
I'm so
I didn't think it
confused.
was. I didn't think it
I'm
was.
so confused. What the fuck is going on?
You can read your gay book, Keelan. I'll allow it. I'll allow it.
So this is just the introduction, and it's like, but when Islam wishes to prevent the consumption of alcohol, one of the major evils, stipulating that the drinker should receive 80 lashes, or sexual vice, decreeing that the fornicator be given 100 lashes, and the married man or woman be stoned, then they start wailing and lamenting.
Hold it.
Yeah, let him finish it. Let him finish it, then object.
Quote.
They start wailing and lamenting. What a harsh law that is, reflecting the harshness of the Arabs. They are not aware that these penal provisions of Islam are intended to keep great nations from being destroyed by corruption. Sexual vice has now reached such proportions that it is destroying entire generations, corrupting our youth, and causing them to neglect all forms of work. They are all rushing to enjoy the various forms of vice that have become so freely available and so enthusiastically promoted. Why should it be regarded as harsh if Islam stipulates that an offender must be publicly flogged in order to protect the younger generation from corruption? And now they go after the US and say, at the same time, we see the masters of this ruling class of ours enacting slaughters in Vietnam over 15 years, devoting enormous budgets to this business of bloodshed, and no one has the right to object. But if Islam commands its followers to engage in warfare or defense in order to make men submit to laws that are beneficial for them and kill a few corrupt people or instigators of corruption, then they ask, what's the purpose for that war?
I can't. What?
Sounds based and gay.
Based. That's awesome.
No, it's not base. They're such hypocrites, Islam.
Right.
Are you a fan of Islam, Keelan?
Are you saying? Are you saying that if someone drinks, they should get 80 lashes?
No, that's
Well,
what
no. I'm saying that Islam is just filled
No,
up with
not you.
hypocrisy.
Not you, the person who read the quote.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, do you agree with that? If someone drinks alcohol, they should get 80 lashes.
No, I think one of the problems we have with the world is that we have countries that act like they are acting on behalf of God, and they bring up these ridiculous punishments.
All right, yeah.
Wait, so like Iran, right?
It's like the
I
US.
think they're actually called religious police over there, Confluence.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Yeah.
The US is the worst of all of them. That was the point.
How is the U.S. worse than all of them when we have the
except the
biggest
U.S.
guns?
isn't a fucking theocracy if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, Iran knows they're being.
The reason
Iran
why we
knows
don't
they're
have
being-
a federal level religion institution is because
We
none of
do.
the founding fathers cannot
do.
decide on which denomination they wanted to choose.
We have a
That's because
secular
we had a-
religion. We
And
worship
I would argue-
materialism.
We had a confederation
Yeah,
prior to the
don't
Civil
threaten me
War
with a
by
good
my
time,
argumentation
Dusty.
as well.
Yeah,
So
America is a theocratic materialist country.
Sorry, there is no secular. There is no secular religion.
That is an oxymoron.
Secularism.
Felicia, we
Secularism.
didn't know what secularism meant like 30 minutes ago, if you think about it, okay?
No, I didn't. I've always known
And
secularism.
what of it? I
No.
asked you to define the definition so that I could understand and actually apply
That's
it
fine.
into my
That's
life.
fine.
Okay, this
That's
crystal
fine.
gem
I'm
needs
glad
to
you
calm
asked.
down.
I'm glad you asked.
What, serious question. How does Iran punish the gays? Like, is there a punishment for being gay in Iran?
Is there a punishment for being gay in Iran?
I would assume.
Yeah, based on the Persians that I've talked to that have helped execute them, what you end up doing is you tie a brick to their penis and then you throw it off of the roof of a building and then they fall.
Wow, that's
Accidentally.
dark.
And didn't they just murder?
Religion
didn't
of
they-
peace, remember?
Didn't they just murder a woman for removing her hijab in public?
Confluence, you don't even know. This book
So
is
I guess my question to Keelan is, how is America the worst of those?
The answer
Oh, I
is
already
that they are.
commented. I mean, they already
Well, they
commented.
do
on it,
both.
right? The
They do
15
both,
years of
Testy. They
slaughter.
do kill them, but then that forces them to transition.
other
Because that's
things.
true. Iran has a massive trans population.
They
Yeah.
have a trans
Okay.
population?
Oh,
A
yeah.
massive trans population. Yeah, one
Yeah,
of the,
they do.
the
They have a
biggest
big
in the
one,
world.
Wait,
And to be honest,
what?
it dates back to like the 80s.
Because
Like,
if you're gay, you get a brick tied to your unit and thrown off a building. But if you're like transition and fit into society as a woman, then they're kind of just leave you alone. So then all the gay people, even if they're not like actually like
Oh my
trans,
gosh, so it
then
was
they're
a
incentivized
protective
to
measure?
transition because they don't get unalived. Yeah.
So
Oh my gosh.
How
I
you
guess
trick God.
I have to say,
Yeah.
like my understanding of Islam.
Very
is
Zionist
what's-
coded of them if you think about it.
Wait, what?
I just wanted to say that I am not a Shia Muslim. My understanding of Islam is completely against Iran's understanding of Islam. They don't say Islam is a religion of peace. They say Islam is the religion of militant individuals who are committed to truth and justice. It is the religion of those who desire freedom and independence. It is the school of those who struggle against imperialism. But the servants of imperialism have presented Islam in a totally different light, and it just goes on. So it doesn't present Islam as a religion of peace.
Wait,
Shia Muslims absolutely do, Kiki, for one.
from what I understand-
maybe the Ayatollah in this passage is it. Shia Muslims would absolutely say this.
Sorry, Confluence.
No,
I was just
Islam
reading
was
from
never
the
a religion
Imam
of
of Shia Islam. Do you
I
think you know
understand
more
in
about Shia Islam than he does?
I think you're misunderstanding one quote and thinking that he wouldn't also say that Islam is a religion of peace, which he would say that, by the way.
Confluence, to be fair, isn't it just the religion of peace through strength? That's what it sounds like to me.
That's what I mean. Yeah, they'll find a way to do it. This is what they always do. But they will say it's a religion of peace.
Just
I
like
mean, that's
America
like,
is a peaceful nation as long as you
The
don't.
only reason that they started
I'm not
saying
saying
that
it's
it was
hypocritical.
religion of peace was just bullshit from fucking, what was it, Bill Clinton? No, not Bill Clinton. Who the fuck was it? It was some stupid, was it Bush?
Sorry,
It's
are-
a bullshit
are you-
thing. It's a lie. Islam was never a religion of peace.
No,
I definitely-
Muslims will say it's a religion of peace. This is a known thing. I can't believe Keelan's disagreeing with me on this. That's fucking wild.
You're
Because of
using
one
it.
Ayatollah
You're
quote.
saying it. You're saying it in a very simplistic way. You're not describing
Yeah.
what they mean by religion of peace.
You're right. I'm not.
Can I
You're
just-
right. I'm
Can I
not.
just ask a question? Can I just ask
That's
a question? Are you Islamic? The guy on the bottom.
Keelan.
Harry Bush?
Harry
Yeah.
Bush.
Are you Islamic?
No.
Are you
I'm not
Muslim?
religious.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, he's eating taquitos. I don't know if you know what that is. Wild
He's
card,
a
but
big taquitos eater.
it means that a Muslim can lie about absolutely anything for any reason.
Yes, yes.
Without
They have no
restraint at all.
consequences
They
if
can
they
just
lie about it because their God
anything.
encourages them to be liars.
Okay, Crystal Gem, shut up.
Crystal gem.
You, Steven Universe.
I don't
So
watch Steven Universe.
I will say Confluence that it's hard to say your position as far as them being religion of peace when, look at what happened to early Christianity once they rose up in the Middle East. Pretty hard to say but I will also, there's nuance.
Peace, to be clear.
There's nuance to this in that they also say what I would agree with now, which is that if the U.S. wants a path to security for themselves, which is this is what Osama bin Laden said to us in a letter to the American people and stuff, that's to stop getting involved in the Middle East. So just stop getting involved in our affairs, which I agree with that, but they're definitely not the religion of peace for sure.
No, Osama was based.
Yeah, he was.
We have to define what it means to be a peaceful society, because I feel like they define it differently from how we define it, and that's why people get confused.
Yeah, I would define a peaceful society as someone who doesn't stone their women to death for not.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing with the Catholics when the Catholics would be ripping tongues out and tearing people apart and be saying this is actually love if you think about it, because we're torturing the body to save the soul. So when we're torturing you in the most medieval ways possible, that's actually Christian love. It hits the same way. It's if you have a special definition of, I guess, Christian love, then sure. If you have a special definition of peace, then also sure. But the words mean very little to anyone else hearing that because it's a completely unique definition.
When I say I want a world without violence, what am I always hit with? How do you get there? How do you get there? How do you get there?
Oh, that's not what I hit you with. I hit you with a bunch of hypotheticals that make your position seem ridiculous.
You haven't given one yet that makes sense, but
really,
how do you get there?
Where you will tie yourself up in fucking knots trying to say that you wouldn't protect someone you love if you had to do violence because that would be bad, or if you did, you'd have to repent of it, and because technically.
Do you believe in everlasting life?
I do.
So why do you give a shit? Shouldn't you do what's actually right in that scenario and not what you think will help you survive?
So, first of all, the example is largely about other people, but no, I think this time on Earth is still special, even if I think there is an everlasting life, right? This incarnation we're in is special.
Who is in the wrong if you are a victim of a crime? Is it you because you didn't protect yourself?
The victim.
The victim's in the wrong because they didn't protect themselves, right?
Yeah. Always blame the victim, especially when it's a woman.
What did the victim do wrong if they don't protect themselves? What did the victim do wrong if they didn't protect someone else and themselves?
A lot. In that example, Keelan, a lot.
What did they do wrong?
If Big Soda has kids, right? If someone did a home invasion and Big Soda hid in his closet and let his family be destroyed, Big Soda would have done a grievous moral sin.
Yeah, and if she wore a really sexy outfit, it would be her fault.
That's different from if Big Soda stood in front of the perpetrator and was like, don't do this, and fell with his family. That's a completely different scenario.
Okay.
Or what if I karate chop him in the throat?
If Big Soda has firearms and someone is breaking in with the intent of hurting his family, and Big Soda uses that firearm to unalive them, that is the best decision. If Big Soda doesn't do that, that would be cowardice.
You're sneaking in language. You're sneaking in language. You said that's the best decision. Does that make it right?
Yes. I'm not sneaking anything. I'll 10 toes down.
You think the best decision is what defines right?
Yeah, the best moral decision is tautologically the right moral decision. Yes.
So
and that's what I mean when I say best decision.
It kind of is. I agree with
relativism.
I get your point, but the best moral decision is, like you said, sociologically.
Yeah, well, I'm talking to Confluence. If you believe there are certain things that are always wrong, is there anything you believe is always wrong?
Only when you add certain qualifiers, if you're torturing people for fun, I would say that's always wrong. You can't say stealing. I think is always wrong.
What if Anson is having fun torturing people, but there's another puppet master who's actually gaining benefit for all of humanity out of the torture that Anson's doing, and Anson's having fun.
Because I've said this before. Morality is intention based. I think that's impossible to avoid.
So if your intent is to kill someone, is that wrong?
Is your intent to kill someone for the sake of killing? Is your intent to kill someone for the sake of saving your family? What's the intent? Right? Like in the example of the way you asked me to give someone, it's always wrong, right? That would be Anson. Let's say his intent is to have fun torturing someone. I'm saying, yeah, that's probably the closest thing I could get to. That's saying that's always wrong. There, you can't even, because like stealing, you could obviously come up with some situation where your family is dying and there's some medicine you need, and the guy has like an infinite stockpile. Is that actually morally wrong to steal a small amount of his medicine to save your dying family? I would say no. Right? There's like there's obviously some type of circumstance we could make something hypothetical where
this
where
hypothetical
all these, like,
man with all of this medicine has an infinite stockpile, but he's not giving it to everyone. So if you steal the medicine, is he not going to give it to someone else because he lost some of his product?
No, let's say in this hypothetical, let's say it's not going to cause some other person to die.
Yeah, it's an infinite amount.
So that's unrealistic.
Yeah,
that's not unrealistic at all. What are you talking about?
An infinite amount of medicine.
This is happening. Well, yeah, it doesn't need to be purely. This is like, we can think of real world examples where people are like blocking people, like a single person, maybe for racial reasons, maybe for whatever reasons, from like drinking water when they have like, they're never running out of water in a lot of situations in history, and they're like, one guy, they're like, no, we're not letting you drink the water, right? Would it be wrong if that guy went to that massive lake at night and just drank some water and gave some to his family? I don't think I would say that's wrong. In fact, I know I wouldn't say that's wrong.
It's kind of like what the Jews have done to the Palestinians right now, right? I mean, they basically like sequestered them in this area with poor drinking water, that they don't basically have access to actual water anymore, and the only way that they can get their water, the only way they can get their water fixed is by going into the area that is controlled by the Israelites, and they won't let them fix their water. So there's basically people dying of bad water right now because of the people that you're supporting. So are you evil for supporting them? Are you evil for supporting that Confluence? Is that wrong? Is that immoral?
Israel provides the Palestinians with desalinated water, with free electricity, at least before October 7th, with all this stuff. You have no idea what you're talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. It's making you uncomfortable to think about the evil that's being done by the people you're supporting.
No.
It's not. So you don't care about the evil they're doing then?
Yeah, cut me off and then pretend what I was going to say.
I'll pretend like, you really don't care then. So you are evil. So you're just doing the wrong thing. They got it. Okay.
Yeah, that's a good arguing tactic, Anson.
I've got another question. I've got another question, Confluence. Is it ever morally correct to stone someone to death for any reason? I would say no.
Well, here, I kind of want to touch on this point. I know you're asking Confluence, but if I can make one statement. If they believe this is enacting justice on for their law, would we not be peaceful for enacting justice if someone murders someone and we put them in prison? Like, I guess, how are we distinguishing what's peaceful and what's not? What's justice?
Yeah, I had actually asked the question. Do you know what I mean? Americans, just shut the fuck up, you loudmouth motherfuckers.
I mean, that's nice, but you know, I answered your question and then asked you a question.
No, you weren't talking to me. You were talking to Confluence.
No, I was talking to you because you're the one that asked the question.
Right. Is it ever morally correct to stone someone to death?
Is it moral to put someone in prison for the rest of their life?
That's not answering my question. That's asking me a question.
Okay. Yes, you're right. Yes, it's moral. Is it moral to put someone in prison for the rest of their life?
Just wanted to... Let me just leave.
My question is it?
Bye,
guys. Yeah, night, guys. I just wanted to say goodbye properly because I didn't do it last time. Night.
Good night. It's good to meet you.
It's nice meeting everybody. Bye bye.
I'd like to respond to Big Soda.
Yeah, go for it.
I do have a problem.
If I could get a fucking chance, that would be nice as well.
Oh, okay. You can cry in the corner. Keelan, go ahead.
Right, so can you answer my question? Is it?
I did. I said yes, and then asked you a question, and you didn't answer it. So I'm going to move on to Keelan now. Go ahead, Keelan.
It is morally correct sometimes to stone someone to death.
Yeah, I said yes.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, Keelan.
So I do think there's a problem with putting people in prison for life. I think it is too much. I also think the death penalty is way too much. I think the reason I think it's too much is the state of our prisons. Like, murder is bad, obviously, and these people shouldn't be part of regular society, but I would prefer it if we could find a way that they could still be productive in their own way.
In a prison or not in a prison?
Like, if they like prison, send them to prison.
What if they're Anders Breivik? So he's in a pretty good prison. He's complaining about not having video games. The guy who did the Utoya massacre, right? He constantly tries to get up for parole, but he's not in a U.S. prison. He's in like a pretty bougie prison. Should he be released at some point? Because he's fucking crazy. He'll do it again.
Like, I still feel bad for people who are stuck in prison for any reason, because it's a bad thing, right?
So it's more of a degree and not so much putting them for the
justice, right? Like Anders Breivik is like a guy filled with hate, right? And I mean, he killed a bunch of liberals. Well, he killed liberal children, I guess, but
yeah,
I feel bad for his sickness, right? Like that someone could be so diseased to want to do that. I don't really feel bad that he's like in a prison cell though. Like it's not like he's reformed. Like he's like this guy's like still like talking about the same shit he was talking about at the time he did it.
Yeah, I mean,
like I feel bad for his like mind and like how did someone get to that place and stuff. But like, do I feel bad that he's there? Not really.
So, Keelan, do you think that everyone can be rehabilitated?
Not currently.
No. Like not currently or in the future, right? Like there are people who you can't fix.
I think it's weird that you said fix like that, but I think far in the future, I don't know how far in the future, I think we will eventually have the ability to rehabilitate anybody if we keep progressing with technology.
She said goodnight.
Oh,
she stopped the entire conversation to say goodnight.
Yeah.
Oh, good night, Glacier, if you're watching. Oh, it's more balls for me to rip asunder.
Confluence Rage Page wants to know why you keep letting addicts like Wildheart on the panel. It's upsetting her and triggering her because she's an enabler and she has to put up with that in her own personal life and doesn't know why you do it on the panel.
I don't think Rage Page. Oh wait. Oh, Rage Page did say. What the fuck, Rage? That's fucked up. Actually, that's fucked up.
I don't.
That's
well,
fucked up.
Oh, well, I don't know how now. It feels awkward to talk about because he's like in the room, but if it can feel a little exploitative at times, right? Because you're like, I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Exploitative. Do you think am I treating Testy? Be honest with you. Am I treating Wildheart differently than I treat any other panelist at all?
Okay, think of it in the context of like, let's say the Thorbs, right, who are clearly mentally unwell. If you bring in someone who's mentally ill and they become content, don't you feel like that's a little bit wrong?
Wildheart makes good arguments. Wildheart is like a smart thinker.
He is better than the Thorpe.
Unironically, so I don't give a fuck if Wildheart is an addict. I don't care if he's drunk, right? Like he's. I don't know. To me, that would be insane to be like, you can't go on a panel because, like, I understand your point, Testy. If he was just like a laughing stock and he's not getting any points across, ever just making fun of him, sure. But Wildheart is not like that.
Yeah, he's not like Futoy.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, and I apologize if I upset anyone in chat. I am a drunk. I'm trying to get fixed. But,
no, you don't need to apologize. We don't have to make it about that. It's fine. We can move on.
And to be honest, I don't feel like you need to apologize.
Wait, I have I have a question for Confluence. Do you think that America is the land of the free?
Oh yeah, home of the fucking brave.
If that's the case, why do they have 25% of the world's prison population?
They got a lot of bad people. They got a lot of bad people. Okay,
that doesn't sound like freedom to me.
It's that 13% of the population.
I knew somebody was going to bring that up.
I was going to say the same thing.
I didn't say it.
Yeah,
I said it.
Testy, do you think that our problem is with our culture that we don't imprison enough people, or we imprison too many people?
I mean, I would say too many, because I don't think the U.S. system is based. It's openly admitted it's not based on rehabilitation, which I think should be the goal. But it's this might be a trigger point for some righties, because I think a for-profit prison system, which I understand is a lesser percentage than is often given credit, but there is an incentive for the prison system to be a revolving door. Like there is a financial incentive to fill prisons when they are built, operated privately. So
yeah, so I don't care about like the structure of how the prisons work.
That's fair.
Or whether or not someone makes profit off of them because they're politically connected enough with some sort of fake private quasi-governmental contract that people call private, that you just call private. Like that's irrelevant to me. What I'm concerned about is how the actual society functions and whether or not like the judicial system and legal system is producing outcomes to keep all of the undesirables away from the normal people so society can flourish, right? And so in order to do that, like if society's not flourishing, I operate under the axiom that you need to lock up more of the abnormal people because society's not functioning, right?
Well,
and separate them from the normal people so that we can be productive.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just think that it's an exponentially growing system the way it's set up. Like I would prefer something with rehabilitation so that, not everybody. There are pieces of shit who should be buried under the prison. Like I'll be the first to say it. But I think that probably the majority, especially people who go through juvie and other things, like even having these things on your record can affect job prospects. Like it's almost like, yeah, you can be young and stupid and do something shitty and you should be punished for that. But I do feel that like it's such a punitive system that it can kneecap people, and then it ends up like they don't have other options, and then they turn to criminality, and then ultimately it does reach the point that you're talking about where they need to be removed from society. So I'm talking more like preventative care in like a healthcare context, but like take steps to try to avoid or correct the criminality rather than it being a revolving door that just exacerbates the problem.
Yeah, I agree, but there's there's a component of that where like there are people who are just like genetically defective, right? And so they're not going to be functional in society.
I would never say that genetically, but like there are people who are predisposed, and like even the thing with testosterone, right? Like there's some statistics, maybe Confluence is what I'm talking about, but like there's a statistic that when people are locked up for a certain period of time, like I think it's 10, 20 years, that they become less violent. And that's just like kind of naturally true because men's testosterone tends to be linked with anger and aggression and impulsivity, and that falls as you get older. So therefore people seem like they're calming down, and people point to it as like, hey, look, their incarceration is working, when in reality there's like also biology at play. And so they just become less impulsive.
Well, with some, to piggyback off this, and this is something I didn't actually know about until I heard it from Jordan Peterson, full disclosure, but I looked into it. It's actually true that with like certain like personality disorders, and not just testosterone, but this is a known thing with like most personality disorders that for whatever reason, and I think it's debated on why it happens, but you get better at either dealing with it or coping with it, or it's not as meaningful as you get older. Like when you're like 20 and you have either BPD or like NPD or ASPD, whichever, pick your poison, right? You kind of just are a victim of your chemistry and your proclivities and your upbringing and all this stuff. But then it just seems that as you get older, you learn to deal with this. And so Jordan Peterson's argument was that the best thing to do with people that are actually what we call like psychopaths, right, that have antisocial personality disorder, that are violent as well, is to lock them up and just kind of wait. Because like there's because it just gets better over time. So there is like a few things that are related to that. And so the testosterone thing that you're saying is definitely true, but I also think there's something more about that with just how, and again, I don't know if the brain chemistry settles. I don't know enough to know if the brain chemistry is settling down or if you just become better at dealing with it. But even with like borderline people who are not usually criminals, right? There's a line where you're usually behaving most crazily when you're young if you have like borderline personality disorder, and as you get older, you for some reason are doing that less.
Well, I think that's kind of true for everyone. Like some people never figure their shit out. Fair enough, but like I feel like because it is also a known thing that you become more comfortable in your own skin and more emotionally, I guess, complete, or however you want to put it, as you age. Like I think that's just like a thing for everybody. So it would make sense that like especially when you've gone through a bunch of shit, like you think about some of like your most stressful and worst moments. It could be like something traumatic that happened, or the loss of somebody, or just a really shitty relationship, whatever it is. and then you look back on it 10 years later, and it doesn't seem that bad. Or you're like, I was such a fucking idiot because you didn't know as much, right? So I think part of that is also just the journey of life. Like you,
right?
You
like as Rage Page is saying, like it's kind of low key is a little true, right? Like it's like that's why people will like the first breakup is like super traumatic. After a few, it's like okay, I've been there before, you know.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Hey, this is John. I wanted to comment on this.
Hey, John.
Yeah, I think also some people just there are environments that they don't work in, and they're less flexible than other people. So, like Anson, for example, he needs a dark room with very little light, or he's gonna flip out. So we keep him in a dark room with very little light, and he's very calm.
The padding. You forgot the padding.
Oh, he doesn't need padding. He likes the hard wall because it gives him something to punch.
You know, and low key, what y'all were talking about, Confluence, about like having problems when you're younger and then like dealing with them as you age. Like when I was younger, I was like irreconcilably violent and did horrible things. And then as I aged, I learned how to not do that and function in normal society so that I didn't do things that would put me in jail. And luckily I never went to jail, right? I just got lucky. So, you know, like...
Yeah, I bet you got lucky for a specific reason, if you think about it.
Oh, yeah, for a bunch of different reasons, yeah. But yeah, what I'm saying is
a racial lens to this, Keelan.
No, I was saying God prevented him.
Well, no, I got pulled over a few times by the same exact cop who threatened to put me in jail, and because I was like, you know, driving crazy and reckless and running red lights. He just passed me on along because he was, you know, a good old boy and I was a white kid. So yeah, I'm right there with you, Keelan. I got special privileges because of my white card. But the exact opposite happened when a black lesbian cop pulled me over and gave me a ticket for no fucking reason because she was a fucking bitch. So like I've had it happen both ways.
Who's Keelan? Sorry, this is John again.
Oh, sorry, John.
John.
No,
you sound like my friend Keelan.
That's crazy. I was saying that I think that God intervened and prevented you from going to jail so that you could become a better person.
I mean, you're wrong, but that's fine. You can be.
Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.
Can
Wild Heart? You said that I was wrong. You said I was wrong. You said I was wrong.
Yeah, I did. I misspoke. I can't prove you wrong.
Oh, did you?
Maybe God wants
to out of here, Wild Heart. You're gonna make me cry.
Kiki, don't cry.
Oh, is someone gonna cry on Confluence's panel for the first time? Except for Confluence.
Yeah, actually, no one has ever cried. I've probably been the closest to crying.
You cried.
I leave every time I cry. Like every time I leave, and it seems like I'm upset, I'm actually crying.
That tracks. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if that's true or not.
Oh, you poor boy! Can I pat you on the head? Do you know what
I mean? Don't talk to me like that, Wild Heart. I'm not your little boy.
Patrick cried when Confluence said he's an esoteric Christian.
This is why I wear the shades, so no one can see my tears. Okay.
Confluence cried that night. Everybody on
I did.
At once.
I know, Patrick. I did too. First time I heard it, it made me cry.
It made me. I almost cried when Confluence said he didn't have a car.
You should have cried. And you know what you should do? Well, the general you is you should donate to the car fund. Okay, come on. Think about it.
I don't know.
Help
You're
brother
a
out. Okay.
I don't think I want to support
Send in super chats, etc., etc.
You should
you need a better grip.
Progressively make your head larger. Like have some sort of filter so that it's your actual face and stream moving, but slowly make your head bigger with every stream.
That's
what I've been doing. I've been doing that for the past year. Okay.
Yeah, you know what sucks? Well, getting your credit
card.
I only
DoorDash once a week, Doomerang. I only DoorDash once a week.
McFlurry, weekly McFlurry.
Yeah, on your Scootfluence.
But yeah, all my prepaid shit is starting to expire. So I'm hoping my credit card arrives in the mail soon. I'm gonna start getting.
Yeah, Testy was a victim to to his own people, if you think about it.
Yeah,
Damn, they do be your own.
I mean, I don't have proof, but let's be honest. If I could pull it up, I would.
They probably didn't know they were doing it to their own either.
Can you give me $1,000 on Google gift cards?
I mean, that's more like a Vietnamese thing, but it's fine. We'll take it. Pay me now?
Don't worry, I fell for the Nigerian print.
Yeah, they're all the same. You can't really tell. It doesn't matter where they're from.
Like, seriously, do you need a new car?
Do not redeem.
I don't have a car right now. That's hence the car fund.
Bro, you just wait a year. You get a BYD. The Chinese manufacturers are coming, dude.
I would. If it was cheap.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, China is the way, is the light.
Do they not sell hoopties in Canada? You can't buy like a car for like $1,000.
The fuck's like a beater?
I was
fucking like 3-4 grand. Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at like even like anything that's like less than like 100 clicks on it is still like 8 to 10,000. Like it's crazy.
You get something from like 1995. It's probably like 5,000-6,000. Like it's crazy.
Yeah, it's mental. It's absolutely mental.
Yeah.
You gotta go to one of those spots that's like no credit report, no ID, like advertising.
Yeah, no cash, no credit, no problem.
Buy here, pay here.
Yeah, something like that.
That's like even looking at like a Craigslist, like it's like the car. What people are asking, it just seems insane. It just seems absolutely insane. It doesn't make any sense. I blame the tariffs personally.
You could get a bus license and then just shuffle around people all day in a bus.
Yeah.
Fuck that. Get some rollerblades.
Have an upgrade from the scooter. I don't think that's really an upgrade.
For some reason, I could picture Confluence with his rollerblades. He's got his like reusable bag as he's going to Whole Foods.
he's got his
Get your brother to ride the
sounds
bike.
pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Get your brother to ride the bike, and then you attach a rope behind it, and then you go to Kung Fu class.
All of his reusable bags have scars of Rimfam on them.
Yeah.
I don't know any of these references. Yeah, I would.
You never watched
Heelys were
Napoleon
like seen as like
Dynamite?
a kids thing, I would wear Heelys.
Napoleon
I
Dynamite.
would. Oh, no, I haven't seen Napoleon Dynamite probably since it came out though. I did like it at the time, but it's a long time.
Want a roundhouse kick with one of these when I'm wearing these babies?
Heelys were pretty sick for their time. Same with
That's
like
what I mean. I've never worn Heelys in my life, but every time I see some fucking Gen Alpha or whatever, I don't know what generation is using them now, but I'm like, that kid's so cool, man. I wish I could be like that kid.
Do kids still use those? I don't think so.
I think they're making a comeback.
Sometimes I'll see a kid, they're just walking, and all of a sudden they're just freaking hovering, and I'm like, damn, that kid's cool. Holy shit.
My headcanon is that Big Soda loves Heelys and he wants his kids to wear Heelys, so he's been bringing them back.
Okay. Hold on. That's a harsh accusation
right there.
If I
You don't like
I'd get the Heelys 100%.
Sorry. This is John Elden Ring.
Oh, excuse me, John. I'm sorry.
Oh, Mr. Elden
You sound
Ring,
identical to my friend Keelan, and I get him confused.
Sorry, John. You have to pronounce your name every time you fucking talk. Yeah, because that's important.
Hey, Wildheart, this is John Elden Ring. Can you shut the fuck up?
No.
John, I'm gonna have to ask you to be civil.
What I was
Keelan's
gonna
a menace ever since Confluence set him up to get in trouble for recording a
Americans,
phone call.
They never shut the fuck up, do they?
What'd you say?
No respect to UK people.
What'd you say, Wildheart?
Sorry, I was just saying what happened to the hoverboard.
What'd you say? I can't hear you. There's too much shit coming out of your mouth.
I think
damn American.
Hey, Wildheart, this is John Elden Ring. Do you like Elden Ring?
I don't know what Elden Ring is, to be honest.
Okay.
It's
One of the best games of all time.
You wear in a private part.
Elder Scrolls. Yeah, I played
No,
that
not
game.
Elder. No,
Bro, what?
that's not the same thing. That's not the same. Elder Scrolls
Is it like Lord of the
Skyrim and
Rings?
Morrowind. Okay?
Is it Lord of the Rings?
Basically the same.
It's not Lord of the
It's
Rings. It's not Game of Thrones.
Skyrim as well. That was a good game.
Yeah, Skyrim.
Yeah, Skyrim's fine, but that's not Elden Ring if you think about it.
It's close. Confluence is close.
Yeah, it's close.
I actually think the Nords have a right to own Skyrim. I think it was promised to them 4,000 years ago. Okay.
3,000 years ago. Get your history right.
No, I think before that, not 3,000. No.
All in damn dirty
I take my
Argonians
Skyrim
sneaking
lore
in.
history. Yeah, those Argonians need to go back.
Yeah,
Hey guys,
send them
this is
back.
on Elden Ring. A woman just sent me feet pics for free.
It was probably Grace. It was probably
Did you
Grace.
ask for them?
They're the blondes, aren't they?
You should report it to that's harassment.
Can you put them in Discord?
Yeah.
So we can all rate them on a scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah,
Well, we
it
need to
was a
verify
view
that you
last
actually got them. Number one.
I'll ask her if she can send some more.
Is it the
Any
same
English?
girl that
I don't know how I feel about
Confluence privately recorded? Privately recorded your phone call between her and you?
Privately, first of all, Wisconsin is a one-party consent state. We looked that up. First of all,
what are you doing?
What he's talking. Just so everyone's clear, because there's a lot of people watching. Keelan called someone on the stream, okay, and that's what K2 is talking about. Me privately recording. I didn't record. In fact, I even
recorded.
It's fucked up.
First of all,
that's fucked up, Confluence. What the hell, man?
I was just streaming. Blame John Elden Ring. He's the guy who called the person, okay? I'm just a host. And I even think I privated that because I was like, oh, I don't know. And even though she said it was fine, to be clear, I made sure of this, okay?
I think this is John's first time on the panel.
Interesting.
Yeah, this is John's first time on the panel. I've yet to meet this guy.
Don't be throwing accusations like that.
So why do you talk so much if it's your first time on the panel? Why do you talk? Oh, it's because you're American. Yeah.
Hey, Wildheart. This is John Elden
Why are
Ring.
you gay? Why don't you get a job and get off the system, man?
I'm only joking. I love Americans. They're the people I talk to most.
Sorry, Wildheart. If you're gonna joke, it has to be funny. Making fun of Americans is not funny.
Yeah, America's based.
I think Ironheart.
We're gonna cut your funding.
Down kind of person. So like, I'll wait till something fucks up, and I'll be like when TikTok got banned for like less than 24 hours. That's what made me download it. And I messaged all my American friends, and I was like, "Oh, freedom is so great! I love having TikTok."
I have a question for the panel.
That's what you got to do. Go.
This is John Elden Ring, and please keep this non-TOS. I'm gonna try to ask it.
Saying that. Every time
name.
Say your fucking name. We know who's talking.
He likes talking in the third person.
John Wildheart. He's asking a question.
This is John Elden Ring. I'm gonna try to ask this in a non-TOS way. I think I can do it. So if you're driving in the middle of nowhere, and you have to use the restroom, but only number one, are you able to use a water bottle? Because I don't understand how using a water bottle works in that scenario, because someone told me that you have to put it in, and I'm like, who can do that? So
I've done it. I've done it before.
Well, you don't.
I was gonna say I busted it out.
You do put it in.
But you don't know. But to be clear, you don't.
Clockwise, snake-wise.
Or that.
Clockwise, snake rise. All right, we can do this.
Have you ever peed in a bottle while you're driving?
You want to go first, Confluence?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'll go first. You don't put it in. Obviously, you put it. It's not going to fit unless you're. I guess.
Hold on.
Your pee small or water bottle really big, but
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like water bottle really big, my penis would fit inside that water bottle.
That checks out.
Your finger, Wildheart. What are you saying? Put 2 fingers in, Wildheart. Put 2 fingers in there right now. Put 2 fingers in it.
That's what she said.
You can't even fit.
Yeah.
Wait, how fucking wide is your cock?
You can fit your dick in there?
Yeah, bro, what the fuck? You got a medical condition?
Micro.
Okay, let's stop the crosstalk. I gotta get into it.
No crosstalk.
Yeah. So you pull your pants down all the way to your ankles, and you're in your vehicle. You're on about 65 down the highway, and you just gotta pee. So you already have your pants by your ankles, so it's mad convenient just to put the bottle, aim it in. You can't put it in there. You can aim it in there, and then just let it go.
Bro, imagine the driver next to you fucking looks over.
I've been pulled over twice doing it.
Actually,
take your pants all the way off.
You gotta get out the car to pull your pants up.
It's not public indecency until you get out of the car.
There you go.
Yeah, because it's technically you can get pulled over for like concealed carry if you have a gun in your car, right? So everything's concealed while you're in the vehicle.
That's technically true.
I think you just need bigger water bottles.
Or that's
the one you showed, Wild Heart, is just not. That shouldn't be big enough if you think about it. If you can fit 2 fingers in, you shouldn't be able to fit your pee in. Okay.
I was gonna say if only I had a smaller pee, it would fit.
It's wider than 2 fingers.
Don't worry, Wild Heart. I've got a small cock too. Don't let them shame you. There's nothing wrong with having a small cock, man.
No, I'm a grower, not a shower.
Yeah, me too, man. I'm right there with you. I say that shit all the time.
I mean, like 3 fingers, sure.
Confluence. It's a flexible tube if you think about it.
You got like a fucking tuna can.
Yeah, jam it
All right,
in
next person. Stop crosstalk. No crosstalk.
Crammed it in. I feel like that would be.
All right, it's my turn.
It's
my
not
turn.
like
My turn. I answer the question now.
I hate
American.
I hate all of my chat. Okay.
Yeah, don't let me fucking speak.
Yeah, no crosstalk. Go ahead, Anson.
Go on, motherfucker.
He's big.
Oh well, that was.
He's got his dick in a Dasani water bottle right now, with a 2-centimeter diameter, pants around his fucking ankles, living his best life.
Carrying like that.
Yeah, that was worth it. Thanks
for
cutting me off and talking over me while you made.
That is a terrifying silhouette, or like.
I think he is. No one's that still. Yeah, he's not breathing. No, yeah, he's not blinking.
He's still
that
going.
Is frozen, right?
No, he's just concentrating
he's
on what he's doing here.
No crosstalk.
No, there's no way. Yeah, no, he dropped. Okay. I was worried for a second that Anson could maybe be that still. I was concerning.
The way you were looking at it.
So I don't know if there's a lag or people just ignore me when I'm speaking, but do you know what I mean? I was just saying I can fit my penis inside that
Okay,
bottle.
K2, it's your turn.
All right. All right, John. I suggest that instead of a water bottle, you carry like a big Gatorade bottle so you can like fucking stick it all in there, and then it's easier to go when you're driving.
What kind of? I got a Gatorade bottle right here. There's no
a bigger one. There's a bigger
thick.
one. There's a bigger one.
I don't believe you.
Unless you guys have smaller Gatorade bottles, like this is what I have. Okay, this is what I got.
You're telling me that your soft dick can't fit in there?
No.
You're telling me
I can't even fit. If I push, I can't even get 2 fingers in there.
Hold on, that's a Powerade bottle. That's a Powerade bottle. I said
Are they
Gatorade.
Are they different sizes?
I said Gatorade. There's total difference between Gatorade
Is
and
the
Powerade.
diameter?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that because I think, especially America, uses all standard bottleneck sizes. Like even 2 liters have the same bottleneck size.
That is true. Yeah.
Look, we're in a bit of a rabbit hole. Rich and rare. What kind of name is that? It's way too long.
I can tell you from experience because when I'm on sleeper team in the bunk, I whip out a bottle, then whip out my cock, and then whoop.
Are your pants down around your ankles? Or
not. I don't go that far. Just it's when you do sleeper team and you don't want to stop on the side of the road to piss. So it's easier when you're in the bunk just to do that while the other person's driving.
I'm being honest. I wanted K2's opinion more than everyone else's because he has the knowledge, the experience.
That's right.
Look, we've all done road trips, okay, Keelan? Okay.
Not like him.
I will say he has the most time on the road.
Have you done 6,000 miles in 1 week? Have you done 6,000 miles in 1 week?
Confluence, I do need a piss at the moment, and I've got a bottle here. Do you want me to show you that my cock will fit in that bottle?
No, I do not want you to show that. I believe you fully.
Call his bluff.
Call his bluff.
Rage page. Why? I don't know. That's something I've never thought. I feel
hold on. I like to know, did you scare
too
Glacier
big for
away?
that.
That was the girl I was trying to hook you up with, Confluence. I was trying to talk props about you. Did you scare her away?
Well, you did. Yeah, you did say that you were trying to hook me up with some black friends of Paige's.
DJ. Yeah, she's a little DJ.
Wait, Paige has black friends?
Yes.
Not Rage Page. Not
Rage. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was like,
not Rage Page.
Okay,
yeah, that would be shocking.
Yeah, that would be
Rage Page definitely has black friends. I know those fucking people from Louisiana.
No.
Absolutely has black friends. 100%.
She isn't black friends. She just watches, certain types of I won't even say it.
Those people can't put their dick into a Wild Hearts bottle. Okay.
Well, I will say, so I have peed in the water bottle while in my driver's seat, but I wasn't driving at the time. I pulled over and I was too nervous to piss on the side of the street, so I did do it in my car in a bottle. But I didn't actually. I didn't step out of my vehicle.
You don't pee in front of. You just face away from traffic, Testy.
No, you piss on your tire. You hide it because then it's a decent exposure.
Dude, I'm a bit of a nervous peer. When I pee in an alley, Confluence knows the Vancouver alleys. When I pee in an alley, I'll be standing next to a dumpster and I'll pull out my phone to pretend like I'm on the phone while my other hand is on my fucking cock taking a piss. I'm like, oh, people will just think I'm making a phone call facing this wall.
In the alley.
That's the wall. Just casual,
as one does.
Well, if I'm ever in Vancouver, if I see that, I know who it is.
Alleys are for pissing. Yeah, as soon as you get the whiff of it, you're like, yeah.
They stink. The Vancouver alleys
actually,
it's the worst smell ever.
Yeah. Actually, I do need to go to the toilet, but I'll turn my camera off and everything. So I'll do it.
All right, John, continue the conversation.
You owe up a bathroom, right? Just go there.
Well, I will say, John Elden Ring specifically said you're not near people and you're driving out in the countryside or not really in a urban area. So I would just honestly pull over and get out and pee outside the car.
Piss on the wheel.
You just pee outside the car.
On the wheel.
If I have the option, I will. Yeah.
No, I'm not. I even face now. I'm just next to the car peeing, bro. I don't care.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm peeing going 65 miles an hour down the interstate.
Yeah, hands around your ankles.
Hands around my ankles. Full commit.
Yeah, full. Yeah.
The only way.
Hello, officer.
On the edge. Hello, officer. Yeah, dude,
that's how you feel. That's how you feel alive.
Well, it's look, I had to pee. At least I'm not going to do it in your car now.
Yeah.
So I have a second question. How do you prevent splashback?
You put the.
That's a good question.
This is what I'm confused.
That's a great question.
If only denied claims were here.
Dick into it. You just put the tip, so just so there's no leaks. It's like you're plugging a balloon. It's just it's in there.
You tilt it down.
You're good.
How do you guys not fill up your bottle?
Yeah,
I always fill up the bottle and have problems. That's why I get out.
Yeah, you do.
No. To be fair, it has been one time where I peed way too much and I had to clip it, and then
you gotta clip it and it hurts.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It fucking
builds
hurts.
a love muscle that way, though. It does.
That feels like that's doing some damage. It's not natural.
No, it's probably doing a lot of fucking damage.
It's like the woman Kegel thing, though. It actually kind of is.
Men can do Kegels as well.
Like I caught an STD.
That's what I mean, and it is the same muscle. It's the stop pee muscle, so it hurts.
Yeah, your
but
pelvic
the pain
floor
makes you stronger. Yeah.
Sure, that's one way to look at it.
Confluence is full of coke.
No, that has happened to me as well, and I've had to switch bottles, and it's not a fun. It's not ideal.
No.
I don't
When
want
you're driving down the road, you dump it.
Peas in a con. Why and who and where and when and what?
I mean, I appreciate
you're making a piss balloon
and throwing it at people.
You just chuck it out your window. Yeah, you're done with that.
Hold on, there actually is a company that makes pee. Hold on.
Oh, the easy
There's
pee.
two
Women
things,
can pee
like the
standing as
easy
well.
pee, so
Yeah.
like turns into gel, then you can throw it out your window as you're going.
That's
And then
insane.
for others, they make like it's not like a catheter, but it's like a tube, underwear tube. And then you just pee
Drink
in
it.
it, and it creeps down
No.
your. And then they have like a tube that goes down to like a bottle that you.
Drink it.
John Elden Ring.
It's
How dare
really
you?
they made some really
Wild
weird
heart.
shit.
How much of a dono? How much of a dono?
No, that's not allowed on the Confluence. I don't care how much
No,
money.
I like
it
to
is
drink
not
my own
allowed.
urine because it's sterile and I like the taste.
I filled it like 2/3 up. And
Bro,
it's white.
this is a new level of
Drink
degeneracy
it.
for Confluence. Look at you. And you
Technically,
hired
Thorpe also showed his pee on the panel as well one time.
You know, you just
It's still warm as well.
I bet it
No,
is.
I thought it was ice cold, Wild Heart. I thought it would be ice cold.
don't mix it up with your
Drink it.
actual.
I'll have to remember that
That
in
is
the morning.
impressive. That's
Don't
impressive.
drink that.
Impressive.
Don't drink
You guys
that.
want to hear?
Wild Heart, if you shut up, why didn't you just go to the bathroom? Your camera's off, you're not talking. Why not go to the bathroom and pee in the toilet
proving a
like a
point.
normal person?
I wanted to test whether I could do it or not.
Yeah,
Do
he's
you know what
proving
I
a
mean?
point.
I want, yeah. I want to
You
test
showed us.
myself whether I could do it or not.
Oh yeah,
It just fit in my penis.
I
just
bet.
fit in
But massive splashback too.
When I was like 20, maybe 21, I got so drunk off of vodka in my room, and I went to sleep and I woke up and it felt like a dream. So I got up and I'm like, shit, they're out there. They're gonna know I'm drunk. So I'm like, I have to pee though. So I have 4 windows in my room, and I went to the bookcase and I opened the bookcase. My PlayStation 3 was on the shelf, and I was like, I'm gonna pee on my PlayStation 3. And then the next morning I wake up and I eventually I want to play my PlayStation 3, right? And I am like, why isn't my PlayStation turning on? And I'm like, why is it wet?
Is it a real story?
You fucking pissed on your PlayStation 3? Bro, why have you
I
been
can't tell if this is real. Is this
Yeah,
a
why
real
is that in the
Kiki?
back pocket? That's an amazing story.
I thought you were gonna say
Hold
you
on,
peed
why
out the
did you
window,
just
and I was
pee
like,
out the
okay,
window?
I guess.
I was, yeah, that's what
I was tired. I was drunk, and I pick up my PlayStation. I'm like, why isn't this turning on? I'm like, why is it wet? And I start looking for leaks. And then I remembered.
But why did you pee on the PlayStation? Why not pee anywhere else besides on the PlayStation?
You're drunk. You're tired.
What do you
Like, how do you want to do it?
A corner would be better than the PlayStation, surely, right?
What do you want? It
The
felt like a
window
dream.
would have been better too.
I mean, it was nothing but PlayStation. You could buy another one.
I think it's shorted.
Doomerang in the side chat says PlayStation 3.
I got it to work again, but the DVD player never worked again.
Got it to work? Even that's impressive as well.
Yeah, I threw it in rice, and the rice is what caused the.
It would have been
DVD
funny
player to
if you
break.
took it to some person to get fixed, and you're like, "Yeah, I don't know, I spilled water on it. I guess
Stop working.
yeah, it's not working. I don't know what's going on."
You
Like,
claim the
man, this thing
warranty
smells
on
like
it.
piss.
Send it to Sony.
Claim the warrant. You get the rejection. It's like soaked in piss. Not eligible.
Binks said that if you Venmo her, she will send you feet pictures.
Oh God. Yeah, I knew she was the type. How much? I'm just kidding.
Disgusting.
Send in
All
the
right.
super chats.
Disgusting. How much though?
So Confluence, how's your job? Is it almost over?
I wish.
Contract.
Like a contract position.
It sounds like
Yeah.
he'd be doing it for a little while.
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks now.
Yeah.
It's been good though. Just the shitty thing is it takes away my streaming time. That's if I had more hours in a day, I wouldn't care, but I don't.
Actually, it smells like
Stop smelling your pee. Stop smelling. You're gonna prove Testy right. You're gonna prove Testy right about what he was saying when he came on. If you stop.
It smells like lemonade.
Now now fuck you. You've never
Sound
done
like
anything like
Patches
this before, and
Houlihan.
now everyone's gonna see this and be like, "Oh, Testiger Johnson was right.
Somebody
You
clip
shouldn't
that.
let
Somebody
All I
you shouldn't
heard
let the
that.
addicts on the
All I
panel."
heard that I'm right. I'll take it.
It smells quite nice, actually.
I mean, it's like a fart, right? You like your own brand.
All right.
Yeah, we do need a
Is
good
Emmett live yet?
good old fashioned egg head shake on that one.
Is Emmett live yet? So we can just bail here and go there.
We haven't even watched the Zionist video at all. Okay.
I know, and I haven't even derailed it.
Oh, sorry, Confluence. Can I just gratitude you? I know I'm very drunk. Can I just gratitude you for having me on? I'm gonna go now.
Absolutely, you can.
Thank you. That is what I was trying to say. Can just thank you for having me on.
I appreciate it. Anytime,
Good to see you, buddy.
Take care.
Yeah, take care.
Bye. Bye.
This is why you don't let anybody on from the UK. They're fucking weird.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Except for Bricky on Iran.
At least True Toy didn't play with the team.
Yeah.
Blame John Wild or John Wild said John Wild.
Futoy wasn't
for this.
Futoy wasn't from the UK though.
Yeah, he was from
like
Ireland, right?
Have we forgotten the lore of Futoy? Yes, of course he's from Ireland.
I thought Futoy was in the IRA.
The Iranian Revolutionary.
Yeah.
Every time I see a black person, I think of him.
Think how lucky you are.
I think you should apologize to Futoy and bring him back.
Yeah, I think so. And Stacy.
I didn't do anything to Futoy, okay? Futoy
Yeah,
crashed
you
over
did.
Mel. Futoy crashed over.
Yeah,
Futoy still
Mel's
messages
gone
me
now.
once in a while, okay?
Mel's
Okay.
still gone.
Hopefully he's doing all right.
Yeah, he's doing good.
We got to make an own Pokemon card for Futoy. Futoy Fluence.
Futoy would get dogpiled a lot. I mean, that is true.
I mean, there were sometimes he would bring it on himself.
Yeah,
there was
handle himself
sometimes.
for the most part, but sometimes he just he got in his moods, and it was just like, yeah.
But he does what you do, Testy, but like in a serious manner. So he'll say some crazy shit, but be dead serious with it.
And on it, yeah. I don't remember what the conversation was, but it was like one of the few times I got super frustrated with him. But it was like some very basic thing, and he was pushing back on it for no reason, and I was just like, he would just like stall conversations sometimes, and it was just like impossible to move past it. It's like you have to address this, otherwise there's moving on. But
yeah, well, that's what happened with the final thing. It was like a 20-minute meta conversation, and he's like, "No, this is my final straw. If I don't get to hash this out," and I'm like, "Futoy, you've been hashing this out for 20 minutes with Mel. There's like 8 people on the panel. It just can't happen anymore."
Yeah,
he's like, "No, this is the last." It's like, well, I don't know we just can't do this, you know.
Did you end up banning Mel the other day? Because I saw you in chat. You're not threatening, but like you're just kind of like, is today the day? Is like, are you gonna get fucking out? Are you out of here?
I didn't ban her. I don't know if one of the mods did. I don't think so.
No, I don't think I didn't see anything. But I was just curious because I did see that it was. I thought it was like, she will poke the bear.
She's still like she's still chatting and then like saying all this stuff, and it's like, just leave, like just go. That's what I kept telling her. Just like fucking get out of here,
Get out of here.
She's coming back and being like that I'm a risk to associate with. I'm like, then get the fuck out of my chat. Like, just fucking go.
Yeah,
like, what are you
that's
doing?
something I never understood for sure. Where I was like if I feel like I'm not wanted somewhere, I'll just leave. Like I don't have to fucking fight people. Like, and that situation has arisen before, where I'm just kind of like, yeah, why am I going to fucking hang out in a space where people don't like me? Which is totally fair. People don't have to like me. But if it's like, if my interactions are just poor with everybody, then I'm like, what would fucking possess somebody to continue to subject themselves to that? Like,
but it's like, that's the frustrating thing. I have made a pathway for Mel to come back very clear in like the DM, and just doesn't want it. So it's like, it's not even like Mel's like trying to come back, and I'm just like, I don't want you here, Mel. It's like Mel refuses to change, refuses to apologize, and will keep saying the same stuff that she knows is wrong. And it's just like, what?
Yeah, it's like,
what are you doing?
You're just being shitty. Yeah.
Yeah, like I even told her because Keelan sent me proof of Binks's age, the person I was on this. And then I told Mel this went in the chat, and Mel's like, at this point, I don't believe you at all. And I'm like, so then I don't know what you want me to do, Mel. I'm not going to send you the dog. So just leave then if you don't believe me. Like, fuck off.
Testicle is like the opposite of Kirk.
Yeah,
Saying I'm super not autistic.
you are very
Well, like,
non-autistic.
When Kirk's not wanted, he just creates a new
Nicest thing
account.
anyone's ever said to me.
What I don't get, TJ, is how you fit in with a whole bunch of autistic people on Confluence, autistic Blue Jay hating panel.
I mean, I jokingly say that I have, like, my brand of autism is my, like, curiosity, where, like, I have a question and I need to find out the answer, and then I need to find out every single thing about that topic, and then as soon as I feel like I figured it out, then I just don't give a fuck anymore. And so, like, that's why I feel like I would never say that I'm, like, intelligent or anything, but I have a lot of, like, factoids that I can pull from, and so I just, like, my whole life I feels like I'm just stringing together all these little tidbits of knowledge I've learned, which are completely fucking useless in the real world. So I'm not autistic, but I speak the language, all right?
He knows the lingo.
Lingo. If anything, it's probably more like
non-autistic is a nice compliment.
Yes.
On the internet, it kind of is. Yeah, if you think about it.
Probably more. I don't even like the self-diagnosis thing, but I feel like I have some tendencies of, like, obsessive compulsive, which it might be something to do with that. But
I definitely have OCD tendencies.
Yeah?
I think I'm more
You
like
have gay
ADHD coded though, like, because
You
I
have
was
gay
for a
tendencies, too.
brief period of time prescribed methylphenidate as a child, but only for like a couple days.
it's
and then
pretty good.
stopped
I
taking it.
prefer it over the Adderall specifically because it doesn't, like, you don't feel as jacked up on it.
But I was noticing this when I was, like, doing my work and there's other people around, and it's like I'm, like, constantly moving and, like, no one else is. And I'm like, is this like just a me thing? Is this like an ADHD type thing? So it's just something I've never really paid attention to. But I was like,
If you stop moving, you'll fall.
You like stimming? I think that's like.
Yeah, like I'm constantly like I like spin my pen like constantly. I can't stop. And I'll like, well, even like I'm swiveling my chair now. It's like, and I just have to be like doing like physically moving if I'm like sitting in like a work environment. That's the thing. Well, the only reason to get diagnosis would be to get that sweet release of the Vyvanse, you know? Okay, that would be the only reason to actually get an official.
Dude, I've been saying for a long time, I'm gonna do some sort of assessment, like not even necessarily specifically for ADHD, but like I want like a second opinion or just a first opinion, just to rule some stuff out. Just be like, doc, just tell me I'm normal. All right, I've been going through most of my life. Like I feel, because I always joke, I'm like I'm completely normal because I've never been diagnosed with anything. So I kind of beat the case. 37 now, right? If I can make it another 37 years without
needing to know.
Dodging the diagnoses.
Well, yeah. Something similar happened with my wife, where when our oldest was first diagnosed at like 3 years old, like they went to check for a specific either it's a specific gene or it's an anomaly in your genes that could tell you if like who gave this gene to the child, and she went and did it.
Sorry,
and she found out she was autistic. I think at like 28, so maybe a year ago.
Oh,
no. Maybe it's probably been about 2 years ago. I'm bad with time.
Huh? Was that like? I mean, that's interesting. What was the experience for her and yourself? Was it like, oh, we always kind of knew, or was it kind of like, oh, holy fuck, I had no idea?
There's some signs, but it's like, I mean, it's a combination of like other things. So it's like she's got really bad sensory processing disorder, and so she grew up mostly with that, where like she couldn't wear certain textures, she can't touch like microfiber and stuff like that, or she'll drive herself insane. And there's other stuff to where she has an inability to control like certain emotions. So like when she gets angry or when she gets frustrated or sad, she'll shut down. And it's similar behavior that my son was showing when he was about 2 or 3, where he would just be overloaded with emotion, and then you would just see him shut down, like right in front of your face. And he would just explode. He would either explode or he would just like cave in on himself and just be quiet and antisocial and stuff like that, where he wouldn't want to be around people. Weird anomaly of like things that they would do that were kind of similar, kind of different, but or different degrees, I should say. I thought that was an interesting experience.
That is interesting, and it is also one of those things where, at least for your wife, there's this thing where, because we're all like raised a certain way. Like my uncle, for example, he grew up in like the Caribbean, and he's like left-handed, but they like forced him to write with his right hand because back then it was like seen as a defect, right? And so it's one of those things. I'm just to relate like other things where if you knew at the time, you could address it, but you develop your own like coping strategies and ways that you just so that you can interact with the world. So there's probably like all these like quirks that she has where she's like didn't have the tools at the time because she wasn't aware of the issue. And then there's like a certain thing she did to like cope with it, right? So
another weird fact, it's rarer to find a right-handed shooter in hockey because most people shoot with their left.
Is that true?
Yeah, that's true.
That's such a weird like fact. I wonder why that is. See, you just triggered my autism, and now I gotta gotta fucking look gotta look into that.
That's interesting. I wonder, is there a certain way you hold the hockey stick where you put, like you use, I guess you would use, you're left-handed, but you would be using the power with your right hand. Does that make sense?
Like
I don't think so, because if you're,
I write with my right hand, but I shoot with my left.
The hand on the lowest end of the stick is where the power is coming from. That's a confusing thing.
And when would they determine that would be a right hand, I guess, hockey player? Like if your dominant hand's on the bottom of the
right, that's what's confusing because if your stick has to be curved a certain way, right? Depending if you're right or left-handed.
K2. How do you make fine-tuned movements with the hockey stick? Is it the one up on the tip of the shaft or the one down towards the bottom of the shaft?
I wasn't really a stick handler. I wasn't really good for that.
So when you're
shoot, and then I would screen the goalie and then knock in the puck after the rebound. That was my job per se. But like I'd say most of the power comes from. I haven't played in a couple of years, so I got to think how to do this.
Yeah, but like manipulating your shaft, which hand does more of the fine-tuned movements?
It's a good question.
Elden Ring is trying to make it gay.
The one in the.
Does anybody else hear that?
Yeah, that's K2's got his radar on.
Oh, okay. I was like, am I tripping? Is my Discord going off? What's going on?
His power level is over 9,000.
It's totally like one of those power trackers. Yeah. No, it's all good. I was curious. Sorry, go on.
I mean, I'm not a hockey player, but I guess I would answer. I would assume it would be the lowest hand.
The lowest hand on the stick is where you.
That's what's confusing. The lowest hand is where the power comes from and the manipulation. So I don't know. Yeah.
Well, the reason I found it so interesting is because I play left-handed. Like I use a left-handed stick. So when you said that, I was like, I mean, I've never played anything even like beer leagues and like street hockey, right? But like, I just thought that's why I was like, it piqued.
Do they golf goofy then too?
A lot
of hockey players golf,
baseball, golf, anything. It's kind of it's weird. I'm weird like that. Even when I first started playing guitar, it felt more comfortable to hold it left-handed, and then it was kind of similar with my uncle. Like somebody was just like, especially at the time. Now guitar is like super popular and everything, but like when I first started playing when I was like 14 or 15. They were just like, yeah, left-handed gear is just kind of a pain in the ass. It's always more expensive. And they were basically just like, just learn how to play right-handed. And I was just kind of like, okay, sure. But my left fingers felt like so clumsy. It felt so unnatural. Eventually I got over the hump.
It is odd with guitar because you like most of what's happening would be on your left hand. So you think you'd want that to be your dominant hand. Because the hand that's just strumming seems like less, you have to be like less dexterous,
whatever
the word is. Yeah,
that's a fair point.
It depends on how you're playing it, right?
Yeah, it depends on what genres and styles and stuff. But
yeah, if you're like
broadly
finger
speaking,
picking, then it makes more sense. But
yeah. But
They
anyway,
say-
yeah, weird fun fact. I golf or
Did you-
baseball or anything like that. I'm left-handed.
But they say to improve your stick handling, like switch it to the opposite stick for like while you're skating around practicing, and then it will get you the thing how to do that, so it opens up like your mind a little bit, and then you get better. I don't know how that works.
No, I agree. Like being able to switch is like kind of an essential skill, especially when people yeah, my
Being
bad.
able to switch is an
Yeah.
essential skill.
That's right.
kind of is. If you think about it.
All right,
Silent.
well, I'm gonna go. Yeah, it's just
Can we watch the movie?
Just go insult
movie?
insult Confluence from the chat, then we can all read it.
oh, I can do that. Yeah. All right, well, pleasure as always. Appreciate it. I'm
Yeah,
probably
it's always good to talk to you.
FYI,
Jeff.
He's gonna
I'm not-
go Google obsessively about what
Yeah,
hockey players are.
I am gonna go look into that. At
He's
some
just
point, but
itching to get off the panel to do some Googling.
just as an FYI, I probably won't be like I'll stop in and chat here and there, but I probably won't be around too much until the weekend. But just as a heads up, it's not you, it's me.
What, you got a busy thing going on, Testy? What the fuck?
Yeah, this week is just I'm just kind of slammed work and then some other stuff, and it's just a little bit of running around. So at least I could chat
Sounds
for
like
a bit.
TJ is breaking up with you.
That's
Yeah.
what
Does
it
sound
sounds
like
like.
that.
Trying to distance himself.
I'll be
not you.
around.
It's me.
But anyway, yeah, appreciate you guys. We'll chat soon.
We'll see you, Testy.
It's not. It was the. It didn't sound like a breakup until he went. It's not you. It's me.
It's true. Is that
See,
Patrick
this is
Hickman?
why Confluence never gets hit with copy strikes because we never watch enough of the video.
We technically haven't started the video, I guess, if you think about it.
So, what do we all think about the Blue Jays? The Blue Jays. It's the Blue Jays.
We could watch the video and see what they think about it.
I
as
already
well.
gave my opinion, and
Yeah, we
It's
can get
like
about
so
20
late.
minutes.
Now I'm like in the sunk cost fallacy, or I don't. That's probably not the right fallacy, but what kind of? Well, in a way, where it's like
You're
we
like
spent
sunken
so
cost
long
of not being in the
not
video,
watching it. Yeah, it's like, is there any point in starting it now? You know,
no,
I
I
only
think we
got
should
like
talk about why the
40
Blue
minutes
Jays are bad.
left.
There, you
I think
got
we should
40
just
minutes
talk
left.
about
That's
how the
enough
Blue
time.
Jays are bad.
We can at least see if it's interesting, you know, because there might be a part 2 tomorrow if it actually is interesting.
I
Okay.
thought it looked like all women.
Oh, sorry.
But is this
that.
the woman versus woman? Are we done with the
Oh, we're done with that. This is Christian Zionists versus Christian
I
anti-Zionists.
don't even think we.
But from the
finished.
picture, it looks like a lot of women.
Oh, that's the.
So we're done with
shows I haven't
erudite.
still.
and all the black
Yeah.
ladies?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Not because of anything, but
Now we're on a new all-woman panel.
yeah, I actually don't know if this
So
is
going back to
all women.
Acts, the ascension happens, and before the ascension, the disciples were expecting a restoration of the kingdom of Israel. It says in Acts
She's
1:6.
fucking henpecking
so
already.
This is, I'm asking
Fuck.
Jesus. So when they came together, they asked him, Lord, will you at this time restore not Israel, not the church, the kingdom, which is a
I
political
think
term
she's reading from the Schofield
of Israel?
Bible.
And then he
Oh
says,
no, maybe it is
what
all
we're probably
women.
all familiar with.
Oh,
No one will know
fuck.
the time or the place. It's only for the Father to know. And then you rejecting that Christ is
Wait,
coming
why
back
is
to
this-
literal
Why women
Jerusalem.
shouldn't
It
teach
literally
it.
says here in 11,
I'm already
that
triggered.
Jesus will be taken up from this place in heaven and will.
She's a
come
good
This
back
is why
prophet.
women
and
shouldn't.
this
This
is a
is why
reference
women shouldn't
to,
teach the Bible.
Zechariah 14, which is a prophecy that the Messiah and the Messianic age is going to be ushered in.
Sola
on the world. So
Scriptura.
we do see repeated, even if we're not going to agree on what Old Testament prophecy looks like, what has been fulfilled, what hasn't been fulfilled, it is clear that Israel, Jerusalem, the Mount of Olives, the East, plays a role in the end times and the time to come and the second coming of the Messiah. You can't divorce that of Scripture. That is all throughout Scripture.
No, I can't. Because
Welcome to the Dr. Daff Show. I'm your host, Dr. Michelle Daff, and today I'm here
Stop
with
You guys
it.
all women, you got.
Patrick has a
Oh,
point.
I'm
wait.
entitled to my
Stop
own
it, Patrick.
interpretation.
her first
It
claim,
is all women.
her first
I'm not
claim
doing
was
this
that the,
intentionally, okay?
Confluence.
her first claim was that the kingdom of heaven is a political organization. Literally, Christ himself, if you only read the red letter Bible, says the kingdom of heaven is not to be seen here nor there. The kingdom of heaven is inside of you. What do you got to say about that,
It is within. That's true.
lady?
Yeah. Anyway, go ahead, bro. Bullcrap.
Going to have.
Well, I was going to say they
Hi, I'm
rejected
Lisa,
their
and I am a
inheritance
Christian
when they
and
denied
Tanzania.
Christ.
Is this the same channel as last
And-
time, or am I just like getting recommended like all women videos? I can't remember if this is the same.
I don't
channel.
think so because someone commented on the little icon in the bottom right
Oh,
that it looked like
Subway.
something. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this
guess
is
this
different.
Woman.
Yeah, but anyway, they rejected
Hi, I'm
their
Julian,
inheritance,
and I
which
am
is
an
why
anti-Zionist
Jesus was
core
hard on them.
observant Christian. Hi, I'm
Most
Morgan
of the
Ariel,
Gentiles.
and I am a Christian, anti-Zionist, Christian cultural commentator.
Oh God. Oh God.
There's a fat
Hi,
woman.
I'm Hannah, and I'm a Christian
That's not what I'm
anti-Zionist.
saying. That.
Hi, I'm Dominique. I am a
There's a
Christian
sweet voice,
Zionist.
though.
Hi, I'm Eliana, and I'm a Christian Zionist, Catholic Zionist. Hi, I'm Eden.
How,
and I
you
am
can't
an
be a
evangelical
Catholic and a
Christian
Zionist.
Hi, I'm Maddie, and
Kicker.
I'm a Catholic Zionist political commentator.
Oh my God.
Before we begin, I would like to hear from one person from each side. Can you please define Christian Zionism? Anyone?
You're all
have-
going to go
have been
burn
there?
in
There's
hell.
actually two different definitions. First, we have the fact that Jews
is the
have a
same
biblical
channel.
right to the land, and the second definition we have is that Jews have a divine right to the land.
It
or a
certainly
natural
looks similar, but Big Soda's
No, they
right.
don't.
Didn't the other channel
God
have
kicked
like
them
that
out.
little arrow
destroyed the
logo?
temple.
Yeah, but I think that was the doctor woman who first kicked
Same
it off.
moderator.
Yeah.
Maybe we're confused because there was two videos. There was the erudite video, and then there was the pagan versus Christian. So maybe the other one, maybe those were two different channels, and this is the same
Yeah,
one.
this is the same one as the not so erudite one.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
The Zionist metal hoodie is kind of crazy.
Suck
Oh, same channel. Oh, also good to see you, Sally. Yeah, she's real. I'm a Zionist. I'm not Zionist enough to wear like Zionist merch. Okay. Besides my Daily Wire merch.
Well, now,
Okay.
I will
that's
say
different.
what
That's
we do
different.
have to decide which woman on the panel is the hottest though at this episode.
Oh,
so
I already decided already. I already freaking decided. Unfortunately, it's the
Confluence
annoying
think it's a
blonde
black-
girl. Unfortunately, no, it's the annoying blonde one.
Look
that's like,
at that
I'm an
nose.
anti-Zionist.
That tells me she's not a Gentile.
Holy cow, that thing's incredible.
That's a Big Soda. nose right there.
It's pointy.
Big Soda's seen all of his ancestors right now at the same time.
Crazy.
to the land. So essentially, a biblical right. Or a
Hey
natural
guys, it's
right.
John Elden
And when
Ring.
you say the land, you're referring
Hey,
to
John.
The land of
Hello,
Israel.
Hey, John.
anyone on this side wanted.
Belief in a sovereign Jewish nation state of Israel. They believe that the Jews are to be brought to the Holy Land, and that is the prerequisite for the coming of the Messiah.
And the first prompt is, the state of Israel today is a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. Okay, anyone can take it away.
You know, as a Christian who does observe Torah, there is a level of, you know, really studying Old
All right,
Covenant
now read
versus
the
New Covenant.
Talmud.
And so I take that very seriously, especially with
Judea
my platform.
changed.
Do you guys agree with me? Blonde chick? Yeah. Yes, no? Yeah,
I
nay.
can't
that one right
see.
there with the balayage.
She's a vampire.
By far,
The
yeah.
who?
By far.
She's
Yeah,
a
Alex,
vampire.
you're on my side.
The
I
one with the
figured
yellow
you
with
would
the
go for the
balayage.
golf
I'm on the
chick.
side of like any amount of taste, right?
I figured
Yeah.
you would go for the golf chick, Confluence.
I figured he was gonna go for the fat woman.
Most people go for the blondes. It's okay.
Confluence
Yeah,
is
she's not
like
It's
Peter
not a
Blue.
real
Confluence.
blonde.
Agreed.
It's
Yeah.
like how Confluence says. It's just like
the semi
we're
blonde
like
hair, the
driving
dirty
a
blonde
Straight
shit,
game cube.
scooter.
that gives her like
It's
15
embarrassing for
points
your
on its
friends
own.
to
Okay.
see, but they're fun to ride.
It's the balayage, bro. Any chick
Okay,
with a
Alice,
balayage
you would
is
think
hotter.
it's Jubilee, but it's not, which means
Hey.
that would be copyright struck. It's a Jubilee
Hey, guys.
knockoff channel.
Hey guys, this is John Elden Ring.
Hey, John.
I
Hi,
think the
John.
only reason you prefer the blonde is that she did herself up for this. Like her clothes are better than the other clothes, and she has like
She
a
put in effort.
hairstyle. The other women are kind of just like they came to this thing and they wanted to talk. They didn't want to.
Hey,
Look.
Bethesda.
She wanted to impress, right?
Yeah,
She
look,
dressed
look
to
her,
impress.
her. Look,
She put in
I don't
actual
want to say the
fucking
word
effort
bosom,
for
but
a
Look
like,
at her
Like, it's
posture.
fucking
Like
crazy.
she's putting in
the
the effort right now.
buttons,
No, the
you know,
clothes
everything's-
fit right.
Take your
They
word
look
for it.
good. They're like right for the kind of environment she's in. Like,
Holy shit! I think that's a man.
Which one's right?
Good
How dare
contrast
you,
with the background.
Keelan.
Yeah,
Versus
now you're
the
going to be
schmucky
looking.
schmuck, the schmucky
the rest-
schmuck on the left with the loose-fitting jean jacket, the unkempt
Confluence.
hair. I mean, come on.
The rest of the video, you're going to be trying to figure out whether it's a man or not.
I know it's I
not.
can clock like no one's business, Kiki. Okay,
No,
so I
you
know
can't.
that's not a man.
I know you watch
Who's
those voice
Kiki?
lessons.
Yeah,
John,
yeah. Okay,
Who's
nothing wrong
Keelan?
with
This
that.
is John Elden Ring.
Yeah, Confluence. That's John.
Who's John Elden Ring? Is that a thing?
Hey, buddy, Alexander Rin. This is John Elden Ring.
I don't know who that is, dude.
Have you played Elden Ring?
It's a guy talking right now.
No.
It's on Elden Ring.
So you wouldn't get it.
Yeah, his name is John Elden. That's all you need to know.
Elden.
Just saying his name.
Oh, is Elden Ring named after Elden Ring?
Elden Ring is named after me.
Named after John.
Who the fuck names
John
a video
Elden
game
Ring
after themselves?
created. He invented
What kind of
it.
a pansy ass little.
I didn't create it. They created it after me because of my life story.
John almost got a UK.
Well,
guy
surnames
through
come
his
from
own
what your parents
urine.
used to do, so they obviously just played a lot of Elden Ring.
Wow.
I'm gonna change my last name to Silk Song.
No,
I
that's
have a good last name if you think about it. Low key, Confluence.
It actually is.
Song?
Song.
Holy
That sounds
shit!
like a good
It's
porno
a
name.
decent last name. Yeah.
Sport Brand
John-
gets it. It's Mr.
It's-
Elden Ring to you.
John,
I thought Mr. Elden
John
Ring was your
Elderline.
father.
Elden Ring almost got a UK guy to drink his own urine on panel.
That is true.
That was a little untoward.
He actually offered.
That sounds a little weird.
He did.
I said,
It
what's
was
the
a little
donut
weird.
for it?
But I got to see the other women though. I got to see the other women. See, this
Yeah,
is a
you'll-
pretty,
we'll
pretty
see
stiff
them.
one right here.
I was trying to
I was
help.
watching.
And so when you
I
think
really don't
about
think you need to. I think it's pretty much set up,
how is
but go
the
for it.
state of Israel today exists,
That woman is
I would not
actually
say that
Alex.
it is a fulfillment of biblical prophecy, because the state of Israel has completely forsaken their covenant with God.
Anyone want to respond to that?
Yeah, well, I'd
Bastards.
like to start with
Wait, so tacitly admitting that the state of Israel did have a
to
covenant with
God,
God?
with God.
Okay.
We see
But they have
in-
forsaken it.
when he makes the
She admitted
covenant.
that they forsake.
They denied their
Yes.
inheritance.
Yeah,
by
but the
rejecting
question
Jesus
was,
Christ.
the state of Israel today is a fulfillment of biblical prophecy. So then how can you
No,
say
it's
the state
not.
of Israel forsake their covenant, but then also answered no to that question? That means that it is some fulfillment. They just have forsaken it.
Wait, hold on.
Otherwise, it would be a
Israel supposed
nation
to
like any
forsake
other
their
nation,
fulfillment?
right?
Is that how they?
Forsook.
Yeah, they forsook it.
Is that how the prophecy goes?
They have
forsake it?
forsaken. Fine. As
Yeah, they
part-
did forsake their prophecy, and God issued them a bill of divorce. Yes, biblically speaking.
Which
Wait,
means
Sally, have you
what?
pre-watched this already? What the hell? You're not
Which
supposed to
means what?
pre-watch.
I was talking to
Somebody-
Alexander in.
Yeah, somebody explain this to me real quick. So the Jews are supposed to forsake
So-
their shit, and then God
So the
destroys
whole
them, or
the whole
what?
thing. All right, just get really quick here. All right, God made a covenant with Adam. Adam broke the covenant. He made a covenant with Noah. It continued. He made a covenant with Moses and Abraham. Abraham continued, made the nation of Israel. Then all the nation of Israel was going against all their covenants with God, and then they had all the prophets leading up to the coming of Christ that were telling them, "Hey guys, you need to stop what you're doing and come back to God." They kept going away. They kept coming back. Ultimately, they ended up not coming back to God. God issued them a bill of divorce, essentially, but not in toto. He brought about Christ, and Christ restored the covenant that they had again broken, and that the church is now the continuation of the nation of Israel and has a restored covenant that can't be broken anymore, because now God is the Christ man, the God man, is unified with humanity and the universe. And so there you go. Now we're here.
Oh, interesting.
That was really fast, but I just didn't want to have to go through
That actually kind of tracks.
Yep, I can't
agree
argue
with
that.
some of that. I'll say that. I agree with some of
Well,
that.
you're a Zionist piece of shit.
Well, what,
I just- I don't see how you
what do you
square
disagree
that
with and why?
Me and Big Soda were going through this a little while ago. The parts of Romans that like talk about Israel, right? And it's like it specifically says that like we are grafted onto their tree. So maybe I'm misunderstanding Patrick, which is possible, but I don't buy into the replacement theology that like we're just like fully that the Jews have no place at all. I think the Bible goes clearly against that, in my opinion.
There's no Jew or Gentile according to the New Testament in the Bible.
Yeah, there's no male or female in the exact same passage. Do those not exist?
Well, that's not literal, no.
Right.
But wait, why
Exactly.
is the
It's
Jew
not-
and
it's
Gentile
not
part
literal.
literal then?
Yeah, they're not literal. That's the whole point.
Okay.
Like the Paul when he's unpacking it, when he's talking about the trees and grafting on. I mean, I don't
What
think Paul
do you agree with
possibly more
circumcision?
clear.
Do you agree with circumcision?
loves
Hey,
it.
don't threaten me with a good
I
time.
can't get enough of this stuff.
Because in the
He circumcises other
same
people.
passage, it talks
I've said it
about
5
circumcision as
times.
well. So we can go into that too if you want to.
He just goes
Right,
house
but
to
that's-
house,
that's
knocks
a-
on the
that's a
door,
bit
and
of a-
says, "Anybody need a
That's
circumcision?"
Confluence's favorite subject.
I'm not pro circumcision because I think it's like biblically mandated that we should
He
do
just
it.
likes the aesthetics.
I'm saying
Yeah,
I'm
it's
saying
not-
you're taking
He-
one
he
passage
prefer-
in the
he
same
prefers the
verse where
turtleneck
Paul is saying
for
male
when
and
he's using
female.
it.
There's not slave nor Greek,
Well, there's
Jew nor
multiple-
Gentile. And
There's-
you're putting it up against an entire chapter of Romans that goes in depth about how Israel and relates to us in lurid
How the
detail.
Jews relate to us. Yes.
Yes, yeah.
But I'm
it
not.
doesn't say the Jews. It says
the
Israel.
Blue Jays. The
To be
Blue
clear,
Jays.
but obviously by Israel, it doesn't mean Paul wasn't meaning the country formed in 48. So I agree there, but
It's
I'm
the
just
Blue
saying it's.
Jays.
I don't. People talk about replacement theology as if the Jews are just left out of it. No, the covenant is not the covenant's not broken. I mean, I think the Bible is.
That's why they're
overly
people
explicit.
without a nation destroying other nations.
What about chapters in Hebrews? Confluence,
Like what
there's-
specifically?
there's I'm pretty sure it's like the 8th chapter of Hebrews. I'd have to find the verse.
wait,
But there's
hold on.
also places in Galatians where it talks about it that I don't specifically remember. I don't want to sit here and just go verse for verse with each other, but I'm just saying there's other parts that we could also use to affirm what I'm saying. I'm not just pulling one verse because all of what I've tried to do is an holistic interpretation, right?
So I'm sorry, I have a quick question then. For whoever believes in the end times, are the Jews saved or not?
I thought they were killed and the Christians are saved.
They can just become Christians and it's fine. Are you talking about in the end times? It depends on if you're a Christian Zionist, I suppose.
But if you're not, well, no, I'm just saying literally you're a Jew and you don't believe in Christ.
Well, they
screwed.
believe if all of the whites in Europe, Christianity's gone, then their Messiah will come after 6 million of their people are gone, which is why the 6 million narrative. There goes.
That's just not. I feel like I have a moral obligation to say none of that's true. None of what K2 said is true. To be clear,
I don't think 6 million people had even existed in the time some of this shit was written. So
I know.
at least
There
not
aren't-
like in
Yeah,
any,
but they're
in any
looking
specific
forward.
place.
Hold on. There aren't even 6 million people alive today. Like, have you ever counted all of the people?
I've tried. I've had to stop in the thousands.
I lose
It's really
count
hard.
at 12.
How do you know
I
they're not
counted-
the same people? You can't remember that many people.
No,
I can
can't-
absolutely
I can't
remember
actually
12 people.
that many people.
You can't remember 6 million people.
I can
Oh,
remember
I
6
counted
million.
about 17 million, but yeah, you're right. I might have miscounted a few at the same time.
You think you can count to
Possible.
17 million?
Because you
Even though it's-
can you
Not
could
in your
like double
lifetime.
count a few people.
took
I
a
guess
while.
is the problem. Yeah.
Alex,
They didn't do it all in one night.
to answer your question, there is a verse in Romans that talks about Jews coming back to Christ.
Oh, okay. That's
Yeah.
okay. But as
but
they are,
Confluence would
they are
disagree
basically
because
SOL.
it will Confluence would disagree because he would say that covenant would still be intact, and so that there would still be their promise.
I'm just asking, if they stay as they are, do Christians believe that they're just screwed?
Yes, I would believe
Yes.
that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say screwed. I would say they just didn't accept the gift of salvation. It wasn't
And
forced
I mean,
upon
I
them.
don't know of
To be
any. I don't know of
clear-
any way to say that other than screwed. I mean, if you're
I don't
you
I
know.
don't disagree with that. From what you're saying, Big Stud. My thing is I think it's talking about that there will be some large movement of a large amount of Jews accepting Christ.
Mhm.
Now I think that's what Paul means. I don't know. I'm not
Oh,
sure
okay,
exactly how
okay.
that's going to pan out, but I think it means on a people-wide basis. I don't think it means that every single Jew is just going to magically be saved
Were
or
you
anything
were
like
you
that.
referencing Romans 8 earlier, just so I can read here? Confluence.
Let me make sure.
Did you say Romans 8 or Romans 9? Just because I was
I didn't
curious about the chapter.
Yeah. Give me a sec. No, Romans 11.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
Continue.
Genesis 15. I'm not going to read the whole thing because it's long, but essentially he makes a covenant with Abraham, who is asleep. So he makes it with himself. God cannot break the covenant. So as we see, passes through the parts, and Abraham's asleep. I don't think a sleep person can consent to a covenant being made. So when you talk about like keeping their end of the deal, well, we see time and time throughout the Bible this narrative of the way that God keeps his covenant to us, even though we don't deserve it. And so I find it really strange that we put this on the Jewish people, that they just walked outside the covenant. None of us can earn a covenant. So
I disagree, because
diversity quota section.
if you read
Come on.
further than just Genesis 15, you go to Genesis 17,
Why would
it
listen to
clarifies,
anybody
because
battle about the
after
Bible?
Abram, who he wasn't even Abraham yet, once Abram was literally blessed by Melchizedek, and that is a fulfillment of biblical prophecy of Jesus in his own, once he presents bread and wine to Abram to bless him for his faith in his walking with the Lord, you know, God then clarifies to Abram, before he was even Abraham, that the covenant was conditional. He says, if you walk in my ways, and, you know, if you do what I say, I will give you the land. And then he expounds upon what Abraham.
Oh, look at that. We got a super chat from a totally random new guy. Watch as I say that he's been here before. I don't think he has. Thank you, Timothy Gibbons. Jeremiah 7.
Yeah, that guy's here all the time.
That'd be terrible if he is. I forgot about him.
We love you, Timothy.
Timothy, my oldest friend. I mean, I meant to say.
Friend of the stream.
Can I ask
Jeremiah 7 says Jews sacrifice and cook to their own children, that the idea never entered the mind of God. So you worship the liars who invented a God who sacrifices his own child. Wait. Jeremiah 7.
Sacrifice.
Yeah, that was the Jeremiah passage is like in starvation, if I recall, right? Like that's like that was, if I'm remembering right. If I'm thinking of the passage you're talking about, that's where it's like they were like so surrounded by the Babylonians or whatever, that they were starving and they were like forced to eat their kids. I don't think they were like doing that like for fun or anything, or in a religious way. And I don't know though. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting confused with a different passage.
If you're getting your 5-year-old to feed your 17-year-old, you know, gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah. And the idea never entered the mind of God. So you worship the liars who invent. What do you mean? But I don't know what this means. Are you saying I worship the Jews who invented?
That's right.
I don't worship the Jews. To be clear, okay. To be clear,
You're a Zionist. You kind of do.
That's not what Zionism means. If you think about it.
If I can ask a quick question. If God knows what's going to happen and he makes a covenant with somebody who he knows is going to break it, does that mean that he's breaking the covenant?
No, because there are primary and secondary actors.
Right, but if I make like a deal with somebody that I absolutely know will break it, and then I have them keep up part of their end and then never have to keep up my end because I know they're going to break it, isn't that kind of a weird thing?
No, in fact, he keeps up more than his end, because not only does he say he's going to save Israel, but part of what he does is, by the disobedience of the Israelites, this ends up allowing the Gentiles to be grafted in, and by the Gentiles being grafted in, the Israelites will in turn get saved as well. This is actually in the chapter that Confluence just referenced to me that I was reading here.
Okay.
Is Jesus a Jewish invention?
I mean, yeah, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I guess technically you can say that.
He is a Jew, so.
The God thing is confusing. Like, do you mean, Timothy, do you mean like the God of the Old Testament? Like, I'm assuming you don't mean like just God in general. That would be crazy. That's giving the Jews a little too much credit.
You see, God transforms instead of
the Jews are all knowing, all encompassing, control the whole world.
God.
Is this
So,
a Gnostic
clearly-
channel? I am not a Gnostic, and I'm probably the most closest to Gnostic of
It's in
anyone on the
every
panel, I
channel.
guess. But
I thought
I'm
you
not
were
a
Gnostic.
Yeah, I'm not a Gnostic. I'm
Confluence
not a
is the
Gnostic.
Zionist channel that's also anti-Blue Jay. It's really weird dynamic.
It's an anti-Blue Jay atheist Christian nationalist
Zionist.
channel.
yeah, what Podesta said basically. Have a little bit of everything for everyone. You know, you need to know that God is invented by Terra. I don't even know what that is.
I see what you mean, though. In a way, Alex, but I think that the point here is that ultimately we wouldn't have free will if we were never offered the ability to if we couldn't make a covenant in the first place.
Just saying, like it's weird to offer somebody a deal that you know they will not uphold.
I think covenants
God,
are
everything he
forever,
does is
okay?
weird.
Especially if they're non-conditional covenants, like they were given to Abraham.
Well, it's like
and to
offering
Israel.
somebody rehab knowing they're going to fail. You know, like, do you still not offer them rehab?
God
If you had
doesn't
perfect knowledge and you know they're gonna fail, then
You stop offering them
Oh.
rehab, though.
yeah. But the different in the human way, there's always a chance that they might not. Where it gets confused with the divine thing is like God. Like if I knew 100% that no one will accept rehab, like divine knowledge, I knew, then I guess what would be the point of offering it?
So that it's been offered.
Or they at least
Just
they have
as
freedom
like a
of choice.
technicality,
Well,
right? So
otherwise, you violated their freedom of choice, right? Like,
He has a choice to make.
I don't know. I mean, in the example, was God obligated to offer a covenant? Would he have been immoral if he didn't offer a covenant? Probably not, right?
I think
I'm saying if you're
definitionally.
Yeah, definitionally, if you're saying because I had knowledge and I knew you were going to reject it, if I didn't give you the option, then I violated your freedom of choice.
Wait, so you have to give me every option for me to have free will? Like you just have to, like any random option, you have to provide that to me?
Yes,
like
every random option.
Because like but both in the analogy and in what the analogy is pointing toward, I don't understand why that would be something that has to be offered for free will to exist, right? Like,
okay,
if
so
that makes sense.
I don't know that I totally understand, but
Like even in the addict example, right? It's like the addict has free will or he doesn't have free will. You offering the addict rehab, knowing 100% is not going to work. It's not like if you didn't do that, he would have no free will. He would still have free will. And in a covenant example, it's not like if the covenant wasn't offered, the people would cease to have free will. Like if God didn't come down and make a covenant with Abraham, it's not like Abraham didn't have free will before that point and only got free will when he was offered a covenant. Like I don't really get either what the analogy is.
I mean, it's a bad analogy to
toward.
Abraham, because do you know what the purpose of God's covenant with Abraham was?
I think we might disagree on what
Give
the
him
purpose
something
of the
he doesn't
covenant
deserve,
was.
or to take something.
If you only offer stuff where you know they're going to accept it, is that free will?
Yes.
Hey guys,
It's still
John Elden Ring
denying their
signing
free will
off.
than offering stuff they know.
It's
he knows
good to
they
have
will
you,
reject.
John. We love
John
you.
Elden Ring.
Better man. So here's like, given that it's God and he knows what it would take to like give Abraham the actual chance to accept the covenant, to actually do the thing, he could easily have done things to make it more likely that he would accept it. But knowing he won't accept it, or knowing that he won't keep up his end, and then making the offer just so he can say, well, I made it, I gave it to you and you rejected it.
Abraham did
seems-
keep his end, though. Abraham personally kept his end with God.
Didn't they get trapped in the desert for like
Abraham's
untold-
seed did not keep their promises post-wise.
No, Moses is the one who got trapped in it because he hit that
Oh, yeah.
rock.
Sorry, yeah. So Abraham kept it, but
he was only supposed to hit it once.
Then
He
why
hit
would,
it
why would the
twice, if
covenant
you
be
remember.
with him and his seed then? What's the point of that?
It is a little strange. I would say the covenant is still in
Yeah.
existence because I don't think God breaks his promises, in my opinion.
Well, you can't make a promise if you know it's not going to be kept.
I agree.
It'd be really strange to be like, yo, I'll take care of you and your family for like the next 50 generations, knowing that like your family is going to betray me and absolutely not need to do it. That'd be kind of fucked up.
Well, he did threaten to eradicate Israelites for worshiping that golden bull 40 days after he talked to Moses.
That was also Moses' times, though. This is the Abraham covenant is
The Blue Jays
different,
like
you know?
worship the bull
I just mean in general, like
Allah
I think
and the Moloch.
I think there has to be some leeway for God to not know the absolute fixed future or to at least not look at it himself if he doesn't want to. Otherwise, you can't make you can't make an offer knowing it's going to be like rejected or failed at some point. It just seems.
Well, perhaps I agree with that perspective only because if we look at Christ is the only way that we see the Father. And in Philippians 2, it says that Christ poured himself out in order to come among us. So like we literally see an example of the second person of the Godhead limiting himself in order to interact with us. So perhaps the God the Father, in Christ being an image of him, and that him being the only way we see the Father, perhaps the Father does the same thing where he limits himself in order to perform interaction with us. But
I mean, that's kind of not to bring up a Protestant concept that I personally don't hold to, and most Protestants don't, but of open theism that kind of can go in two directions, that either says that God, what you're basically said, that God chooses to limit his foreknowledge for the reasons you said, or the other idea is that the future doesn't exist, so asking if God knows it is actually, like, it's thinking God doesn't know the future is not a limit on God's. It's like asking, can God make a rock so big he cannot lift it? It's like, it's just God cannot make a square circle. It's like that type of thing. So that's what they would argue. They'd say the future hasn't happened, so God is still omniscient and all powerful and everything, but the future just definitionally does not exist yet. Now, I don't know if that, I think that has like a bunch of problems with it, but it's an interesting idea.
You could say it doesn't exist, but say that there's a probabilistic state of what it looks like, right?
Yeah. I think maybe you could like know every possible outcome, but again, the problem with that version is like, because then is God really outside of time? If God was outside of time, you think he would be able to see the beginning from the end.
Doesn't he have to be inside of time to interact with us?
No, he's outside of time. The Father is outside of time.
To interact with us, I would say yes. I don't know if he can
Does outside of
interact.
time mean? Does that can't mean anything?
I think
that
that
statement that
cannot interact with
makes a logical argument make
So-
sense. It doesn't actually
You'd have to
mean
reach into
anything.
time itself, right?
And that's an important point here, I think, actually. Maybe we're actually getting somewhere live. We're doing it live. Is that the Father is outside of time, but every time we see even God interact with the Jews of the Old Testament, whenever they see God or they see Yahweh, it's that they're actually seeing the person of Christ. We call those theophanies. And so perhaps Christ is the one that is in time, and the Father is the one that is always outside of time.
So then
From
is
this
Christ
perspective.
the one who was making the covenant, and we never really speak to the Father?
I'd say that's probably accurate. Yeah, I'd say that's probably accurate.
So the person who made the deal with Noah was probably Christ.
Yeah, but
Or,
that's
I'm
also
sorry.
God. It's just not the Father. Yeah.
I don't know,
Well,
like
yeah,
when
yeah.
it says like the angel of the Lord and stuff, I think those are theophanies. But when it's like, I don't know, when it's talking about like God, I guess like on like the mountain and stuff, like on given the 10 Commandments, like I don't know if I
No,
would
that
see
was Christ.
as-
Yeah, that was Christ.
Does that have to
don't
be the
know.
Father? Is there? So hold on. Is there any part of the Bible that specifically states the Father is the one that came down at any point, or does it just call him God?
No. Just calls him Yahweh.
So then
Well,
it could
I don't
be-
know. Well, it doesn't call him the Father, obviously, in the Old Testament, because there was no like Trinitarian, thing
I
that
actually
was really
reject
rooted.
that. But
Well, is there a place in the they don't?
I think the Old
wait, I don't
Testament
know
is
what-
wholly Trinitarian, personally. But
I think they didn't use it. I don't think the concept.
not-
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, I think we're talking past each
the
other.
symbolism and there's the reference of we and made in our image, but I don't think the term Trinitarian would fit.
I understand
in that.
what he's saying is it spoke that way. It just people didn't interpret it that way because
Yeah,
it doesn't.
yeah.
They didn't have the concept.
But
for it
what
at the
gets
time.
confusing is when Jesus is talking, we'd almost have to dichotomize Jesus a whole bunch, because when Jesus is talking in the New Testament and we'll talk about God doing stuff in the Old Testament, then it's like, is that just Jesus talking in like the third person when he's like, for this reason, God gave you these commandments, but he's talking about himself? Like, to me, it makes more sense to think that he's talking about the Father in those cases.
he is talking about the Father in those cases because God,
But then that
because
wouldn't-
Christ
okay,
worshiped
but then-
the Father.
Okay, but he's specifically talking about Old Testament things. He's like, when God did this, and he'll talk about some Old Testament thing. So if he is talking about the Father, then that
Well, he
means the
wouldn't-
Father
he
was
wouldn't-
doing stuff in the Old Testament.
when he was on earth as Jesus, he would not refer to himself as the God who did things.
But he was still the Son. So would he? That's what I mean. He would have to be talking about himself in the third person, when in the
in what
Gospels he's
specific circumstance?
referencing.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, let me see if I can pull up an actual passage here. Like
Because
I'm thinking, I think it says it in the
have taken us on
divorce,
wayward
divorce
tangents.
one.
My apologies.
From the
Where that's
Orthodox
reason.
all the theophanies in the Old Testament, like whenever anybody sees like the back of God or their face turns away from God, like God's face turns away from them and stuff like that, they're not seeing the Father because no man has seen the Father. All of these things are Christ. Like when the angel of the Lord came to Moses and had two other angels with him and ate with him, that was Christ eating with them. That was not.
Well, I agree with you on that. Like I said that specifically with the angel of the Lord. I think those are theophanies, and I think that is Christ. But
they call them God too. The angels of the Lord are called God by the people that are encountering it.
Yeah, that gets a little messy in the Hebrew sometimes, though. That's the only problem with that, because the Hebrew, the Elohim, right, is used also for men in the Old Testament as well. It's used mostly for God, but it's used for plural gods, as in like talking about the gods of the Canaanites. It's the same word Elohim, and then talking about like mighty men and like almost like mythical men that are like heroes. It'll use the same word as well. So it's a bit sticky. No, I thought he said it in a divorce passage, but I don't know if he actually does.
I actually think there's a specific passage where Christ says that Abraham believed in him specifically.
I know there's a passage. It's when Abraham was, I am, referring to the name Yahweh. So like Jesus, I forget which disciple or which Pharisee Jesus was talking to when he said that.
Yeah, but the I am isn't. Yahweh doesn't mean I am. That comes from the Ahayer Asher Ahaye passage thing.
Oh.
Which so it is. I think it is still a claim of Jesus being God. Yeah.
Are you reading the
I
Schofield
thought I
Bible?
was confused there.
I do not read the Schofield Bible. No,
He has one. He's
I don't
showing
have
me it.
one. I don't.
He sent it to me in my Discord. He says I need to read it.
Aren't there passages that say like no one has ever seen the Father?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That's why whenever these people see the Lord, they see his back or they see his face. Like when it says the face of the Lord shone upon him in reference to Moses, it's they didn't see the face of God the Father. They saw the face of Christ.
Yeah.
And bro literally had to wear a veil after coming down from the mountain so that he didn't blind other people with the brightness of his face. Like,
because if you don't believe it's Christ, you have to wrestle with the fact that the Bible states that you cannot see the face of God, but then you have someone like Jacob who wrestles with God.
Yeah.
And so the only way you can bite that bullet is either it's some symbolism that we can't quite understand of why we can't see him and people interact with him, or that Christ is the representation that we're seeing when people interact on a, I guess, personal level with God.
this is actually something I deeply struggled with when I was struggling with my faith in my early 20s, which actually led me into Arianism and stuff like this, is because I was trying to figure out all of this by my own means and trying to like elevate the Father to a certain point, while also keeping in tune with, like, in the beginning was the Word and the Word was God, and trying to figure out all these theophanies and stuff like this, and ended up in Arianism by a weird way. But it's because I was doing this thing where I was, instead of us worshiping the persons, I was worshiping the essence, like the divine essence, instead of the persons in the Trinity, which is the first error. And then also not realizing the roles of the people in the Trinity, and the theophanies and stuff like that as well.
Okay, sorry, this took me a long time to find more than I should have. But a passage like this, I guess, is what I was referring to, where Jesus is talking about God in the Old Testament context? Have you not read what God said to you? I am the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob. He's not the God of the dead, but of the living. So this could be, again, this would, the only other way to see this, I think, would be Jesus talking about himself in third person, or he's talking about the Father. Because who said this? Was it
second person?
I don't think. I guess what would that mean? I guess saying the word "you," because I guess "you" is the second person. It's like so. I don't know what would we think of this, because it's either Jesus in the third person, or it means that whoever said this would have been the Father.
So what's the click the B referent there? Click the B referent.
This is just pointing back to.
Okay, let's look at what
Exodus.
Let's see at Exodus 3. Exodus 3.
Then he
Bible
said,
study
"I'm
stream.
the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, the God of Jacob." At this, Moses hid his face because he was afraid to look at God.
Oh yeah, so he's referencing himself. He's referencing himself.
Okay, so that's what I said. That's the only other option, is think that Jesus is talking in the third person, which is maybe possible, but
yeah, because even when it comes to like the angel of the Lord, he refers to himself as he like says directly he will do things, and then the person often, like with Hagar, right? He said that he's the God who sees him.
But also, he only ever does what the Father tells him to do and does the work of the Father, because the Father is literally is God. So when he's saying this, he can also be saying, essentially, he's referencing himself, but he only ever delivers the word of God himself. Like when he's saying God, he means the Father, just like we all do. Whenever we say God, vast majority of the time,
but you're saying he doesn't. You're saying the opposite, because in this passage he's saying, "Have you not read what God said?" So if you're saying the same God, he means the Father. Then Jesus is saying, "Have you not read what the Father said to you? I am the God of Abraham."
And the Father,
this is a direct quote.
The Father only ever spoke to people through him. So he's still referencing what God said.
That's a lot of gymnastics. So you're saying Jesus is saying, "Have you not read what the Father said to you?" And then Jesus is really talking about himself saying this.
Well, he didn't say the Father, did he?
I'm saying Patrick said when Jesus is talking about God, he's talking about the Father. So I'm saying then we could substitute this and say, "Have you not read what the Father said to you?"
When we talk about God, we're typically referencing the Father, unless otherwise.
I thought you said. Didn't you say when Jesus is talking about God, he's talking about the Father?
No, he's referring to himself.
I don't think
in
that's
this passage he's referring to himself, but he's only ever giving you the word of the Father.
Because this was in the burning bush, right?
Patrick, I don't think that's an orthodox position. I'm going to be real with you. I don't think that's an orthodox position.
The orthodox position is that the person speaking in the burning bush was Christ.
That every interaction that happened in the Old Testament was Jesus and not the Father. That's an orthodox position.
I don't know about every interaction, because sometimes it was angels, but pretty much every other time.
Every interaction where it's God, every interaction where God is interacting in some way, saying something, doing anything. I agree there are specific instances that are theophanies of Christ. I agree with that. Christophanies.
Yeah, I'm almost certain.
I don't think that's an orthodox position. I don't think it is.
I mean, I've even heard, and this is not an orthodox position. This is just a position that my priest has put forward to me before, is that even when you're looking at times in Christ's life, like when the woman's about to be stoned and then Christ bends down and starts writing in the sand for a long time, that is actually him through space and time writing down the books of the law in the Old Testament when Moses receives them. So like, that's not necessarily an orthodox teaching, but that's something my Orthodox priest has posited. I
think it's an interesting idea.
So yeah, I mean, I think it's absolutely the Orthodox position that the Father does not really directly. Okay, the only time I can think of off the top of my head that the Father interacts is when Christ is baptized, and then you see the Father there with the Son and the Holy Spirit.
Hold on, what about Sodom and Gomorrah?
The
Then
I guess that's what I'm thinking of, like all
Sodom
the
and Gomorrah, sulfur
like
and
all
fire
of
from
those,
the Lord out of heaven.
right? Like all I don't know. I don't think.
I mean, I think you could still argue it's Jesus.
I don't think I don't think the Orthodox Church would say that. I don't think they would say that. Which
Maybe
I mean,
not.
which is fine. Like, but I don't think that's. I think it makes sense to see certain instances as Christophanies, but I don't think it makes sense to see every instance of God in the Old Testament as being
So
Jesus.
Orthodox accepts that the Father is never seen. And they also accept that the Son is the one who reveals God. I don't think they're dogmatic about whether like it's Christ in every interaction that talks about God. But
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Because I already said when it says like the angel of the Lord and in these like specific things, like when Daniel is in the freaking or the Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego.
Not every angel is going to be actually Christ, right?
No, I'm saying the angel of the Lord, the angel of Yahweh, not just like when it says an angel.
Which never comes back after in the New Testament, right?
Right. Yeah.
That phrasing is never repeated again in the New Testament.
Well, I think that's because Jesus is the last messenger, so there would be no angel coming after Christ.
Well, and Christ now has a human body, so if he were to come back, he'd be returning in his human form.
Right.
But it does. Well, no, but it does. Well, it talks about angels. I don't think it. Although it'd be hard because obviously it's when it says angel of the Lord, it's saying angel of Yod He Vav He, and obviously the New Testament is in Greek. So I don't know what exactly that would look like, but
I can tell you
it talks about angels in the New Testament, of course, after Christ, but not
the angel of the Lord.
Yeah, I don't know if it ever uses that specific, but again, that is a Hebrew like phrase, right? So it's you couldn't find it in the New Testament, so I'm not really sure.
I would say I'm really safe. I'm in your question to me directly. I think I'm really safe in giving you a nuanced yes that by and large, pretty much every interaction between God and humanity in the Old Testament is Christ, barring maybe some very minor exceptions that I couldn't even name to you. But by and large, I would say I'm pretty safe in saying, yeah. I can't give you that definitively. I'm not a clergyman or anything. I'm a layman that's been in the church. I've been going to church for like 2 years now at the Orthodox Church. So not a long time, but I mean, yeah, I'd feel very safe in saying 98% of the time, if not more, is Christ.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Even in the burning bush, right? Doesn't it say like the angel of the Lord came to Moses in fire and then God spoke to him from the bush?
I can't remember. I don't think it's I don't think so. I could be wrong. I don't think the burning. I'll have to look it up. I don't think it says the angel of the Lord was the burning bush.
You think the fourth man in the fire was Christ? Surely.
Yes. Yeah. I brought that up. Yeah, with Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Yeah, I think that is definitely Christ. It even says, and he appeared to them as like I think it says he appeared to them as like as if a son of the gods or something, using the word Elohim. So like I think that one is like very clear.
Hey, Confluence.
Again, I think a lot of these are Christ. But I don't know when it like the Sodom and Gomorrah thing. I personally wouldn't think that's the son there.
Well, it refers to basically two different gods, right?
What do you mean?
Well, God threw fire from the God in heaven.
Oh, yo, I'm looking up Orthodox icons with the burning bush, bro, and because I've actually talked a little bit about this theology, because the burning bush, in talking with my clergy, can signify Christ and can also signify Mary with different types of theological significance. I can go into that if you want, but I don't have to here. But they got some dope icons of the Theotokos with like Christ inside of her, and they're burning like on as a bush, bro. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually, what Alex said is right. I didn't think it did mention the angel of the Lord in the bush thing, but it does. There, the angel of the Lord appeared to him in flames of fire from within a bush. Moses saw that though the bush was on fire, it did not burn up.
Yeah.
So like, when it says angel of the Lord, I'm comfortable being that.
He had gone over to look, saw that he had gone over to look. God called to him from within the bush.
Oh, that is weird because that means so this would be Yahweh, right? And then this would be Elohim in Hebrew. So when Yahweh saw that he had gone over to look, Elohim called to him from within the bush. Moses, Moses. That's interesting.
Hey, Confluence, is it
So
almost
3
Bedfluence
different
time?
variations of the same.
That's what happened in the
stop
movie.
it, stop it, K2. Stop it.
Also, we got a super chat that I didn't read yet. Another one from Timothy Gibbons, who I disagree with vehemently, but I appreciate him nonetheless. Okay. Jeremiah 7:30-32. God berates the Jews for sacrificing their children and says that idea never came into his heart. Be worship a God that sacrifices his own child. Beware massive hypocrisy. Are we talking about God like sacrificing Christ? I think that's like kind of a bad understanding of like, like
that's it. That's the theology in general. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like he knew that Jesus was going to get killed.
Yeah,
well, I think
he knew that Jesus was going to get killed. I think
Jesus went up
Judas had a
willingly.
choice
That's the whole point.
Yeah,
Jesus
he just sent him down knowing he was going to get killed. Is it even a sacrifice?
Jesus
if he just goes
chose.
to heaven?
It's explicitly in the text that Jesus chose to be killed.
So Jesus is not God. He's his
Jesus
own
is God.
mind.
Jesus is God.
What do you guys
But
think
then-
about Psalms 45, 6-7?
Then God chose to go down in the shape of a.
Can we just be
guy.
clear? Since you're wanting to argue about this pedantically, then you're going to need to use the terms, buddy. Don't just say God, because that's ambiguous. You're going to either say Christ or the Father. All right, now say your shit again.
So God
Patrick,
chose
you're going at
to
it.
come down as a younger guy.
Beg your pardon, I
Get
couldn't
himself
understand.
killed and then go back up.
Hitting their mic. I couldn't understand him.
I think my mic's really low on this StreamYard. Not low on Discord.
No, somebody was hitting their mic or something.
No, I was just
I
trying to
gotta put my
understand your
flashlight on my head, Patrick. I got a light
Jesus
headlamp.
sacrificing him. If Jesus is, yeah, it's this Trinity nonsense, I guess.
So here's what happens: is that ultimately humanity wounds or gives itself a sickness by choosing to. Evil does not ontologically exist. Only goodness exists. Humanity brings evil into the world by committing, ultimately, the sin of pride, and brings evil into the world, gives itself a sickness and corruption, which is not innately in our nature. Now we're sick. Christ himself chooses to, so God, through multiple covenants and means, skipping a lot here, but ultimately, once you get to Christ, Christ wills himself to come down so that he can he can heal the human nature by uniting himself with the human nature, going in and harrowing Hades and then ascending into heaven and sitting at the right hand of the Father. It's a love healing relationship. It is not a penal substitutionary relationship where the Father sacrificed his son so that he could pay somebody else's debt or something like this. It is a God referencing Christ loved the world or the Father, but both of them loved us so much that Christ came down, joined himself with humanity, suffered as a man, and then died. Just like we have to die.
There's no real sacrifice. There's no change. There's no loss. You started where you ended up before and after, so there was no sacrifice.
Well,
The sacrifice was in Philippians 2 when he had to pour himself out.
Well, the sacrifice, the new covenant was established with his death, right? You read all this in Hebrews, right?
So the isn't a sacrifice because he doesn't die.
Well, he did die on the cross.
Neither do we, Podesta, if you think about it.
Yeah, we don't die either. We only repose in the Lord now.
So we spiritually
It's not a sacrifice if you don't sacrifice anything, you don't lose anything.
Well, he lost his life just because
he came back to life.
was able. Well, yes.
So do we,
If I sacrifice you, if I sacrifice $10 to you and you give me $10 back, that's a sacrifice.
Sewed it back on for
That's not a sacrifice.
Would you say
That's
that
a
I never
loan.
cut off your arm?
Podesta.
If you give me my arm back the next day, it's not a sacrifice. It's just a loan.
Okay, so if he died, though, is that a sacrifice?
An
If he took the sins of all humanity
If he comes
upon
back,
himself?
it's not a sacrifice. No, because he hasn't lost anything.
Why? Because it's still a sacrifice. It's just it's more
Hold
than
on, hold on. It's an action of
right?
pain.
Did he
It's not a
stay on
sacrifice.
Earth afterwards, or did he leave?
But he started. He wasn't on Earth when he started. He came to Earth and he
Oh,
went
I get what
back.
you're
So there's
saying.
no
Okay, so
sacrifice.
Podesta, this is why it's a sacrifice,
Okay.
because he was perfect, and so he didn't deserve this, and he took the punishment and wrath that God was going to place on humanity upon himself. And so even though he was perfect and didn't deserve that, right? He still took the punishment. So imagine somebody who goes to like a judicial system, right? And you got a bunch of felonies and you got to do a bunch of time. And he basically paid the fine, did the time, and now we're free.
I wouldn't put it like that, but I would say I would expand on what you said initially, that he ultimately was with the Father and perfect, and then he literally had to pour himself out and become a human being. He went from
You could say
God.
that's a sacrifice without even dying.
So
then.
hold on, Podesta, or is that Podesta who's talking, or who is it?
Two of us.
Oh yeah. So like imagine if I basically tortured you, but in a way that wouldn't leave permanent harm to your body. Would you say that there's been any sacrifice to you there, or is
If I'm completely restored,
Huh?
then it's not much of a sacrifice. If I'm completely restored
How does the
afterwards, you're
resurrection-
saying
Well, no,
going
no.
through some pain is a sacrifice.
I don't think you agree with that, Podesta. Let's say I don't believe in the penal substitution thing either, but if someone had to go to jail to use
Jail's
that
a
as an
sacrifice
analogy,
because you sacrificed the years in jail. If you came back in the original
Right,
age
but-
again, it wouldn't be a sacrifice.
It doesn't disqualify the death just because he resurrected. I mean, that still happened.
I'm not saying disqualifying anything. I'm saying it's not a sacrifice.
He lost 3 days.
Yes, it was. It
that
was
not a sacrifice?
He's outside time. He can't lose time.
Well, he wasn't on Earth for 3 days. That would be.
He's outside. He's
sacrificing 3
God.
days.
He can't lose time. He went back to
I don't
being
get
God.
how you don't see that as a sacrifice, but like, let's say
not a
you believed in the
sacrifice.
Christian. If you believe in the Christian mythos and you believe that we do repose, right? And
All
we
I
don't
believe in is
actually,
the
like,
Christian
die.
morals. I don't believe in the Christian mythos.
No, I'm saying if you hypothetically did, would you not see like someone giving up their life for someone else as a sacrifice?
He didn't
because
give up his life because he had no life to give up because he's God.
I just
he went back to being God afterwards.
You're not answering. You're not
But
answering what I asked
let me
at
ask you
all.
this: since you know,
if it was an actual person who wasn't God, then it was a sacrifice. If it's,
No one can
if it's,
sacrifice anything.
Can I say
if
something
it's
quick?
God the Son who then goes back to being God the
Explain
Father,
it
it's
to you,
not really a
Producer.
sacrifice.
So everybody has a spirit that is eternal in a sense, right? Nobody ever really dies, right? So according to Christian theology, and quite a few others, whenever you die, you go to heaven or hell, right? So
But you only get one time on Earth.
right, you get one time on Earth, but your spirit, okay, never
So
dies.
your sacrifice would be sacrificing your time on Earth if you're a human.
What,
Oh,
no,
wait,
that's-
wait. What if we all
He
come
doesn't
back to
even
Earth
sacrifice
after
that
everything's
because
over?
he's not a human.
What if we all come back to Earth?
He was
after
a human.
everything's
Oh,
over?
really?
If he,
What if
then
Earth
it
is the
diminishes
final
any
paradise?
sacrifice. If you just go to heaven and then come back and
Podesta,
live
what if
forever,
Earth is
then
the final paradise?
sacrifice gets
Then did we
diminished a
sacrifice
lot.
anything?
Yeah.
Okay, so why do we count time after this guy then? What happened, dude?
Podesta. If Earth is
Observation.
the final, is the final paradise, and everyone comes back here after like tribulations and all that, then did we not sacrifice anything by dying or by losing our lives to do something?
If Earth is the final paradise,
Yes,
like
and
Earth
we're
is
all
heaven,
restored back to Earth eventually. Would you say that we didn't sacrifice anything?
when we did what? What was the sacrifice that we made?
Let's say you took a bullet for someone, right?
And you go to heaven. Was that not a sacrifice?
We here would call that sacrificing yourself to save someone, right?
Right. You're not
you
dead.
go to
You're
heaven,
in heaven.
eventually you come back to Earth because this is the final paradise. Would
If
you
you
say
took a bullet
then
to
that
go
you
to
didn't
eternal
sacrifice anything?
bliss, it's less of a sacrifice. If you
Same
took
thing.
a bullet and you ceased to exist, that was a big sacrifice. If you took a bullet and you
Well, if you
degraded
cease to exist,
the rest
you
of
didn't
your life,
sacrifice
that's a big
anything, you don't
sacrifice.
exist anymore, right? What are you sacrificing?
In
if you don't exist?
atheism, it's a big sacrifice, yeah, because you're
No, it's not.
sacrificing
You don't
all you've
exist
got.
anymore. There's nothing
Okay,
to
so just to let you
sacrifice.
know, a sacrifice according to Yahweh, like according to the God in the Bible, is something that is pure in blood and that is worthy of sacrifice, right? So that's why it was a sacrifice, because he lived by all the laws perfectly. Therefore, his blood was sufficient. He didn't
If someone's paid you $1,000, but so they could kill you, and they bought, but you probably wouldn't take the money. But if they said, "Well, we'll bring you back afterwards," you probably would take the money because the act of killing you is no longer a big deal. It's less of a
Yes.
sacrifice.
Not really.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
It depends on what happens.
But it
during
doesn't
the time
matter
you're
because
dead.
it's still a sacrifice, right? So, but here's the thing: is that getting shot and just coming back is one thing. This is not what happened, okay?
Yeah, I'd
He
say
actually
it's
got
not
the
much of a
wrath.
sacrifice then. I mean, let's not talk in absolutes then. Say everything
But
painful
this
is a
is why-
sacrifice. Going through any sort of pain
This
is some
is-
kind of
between that
sacrifice.
and
It's
a prayer
not
that
much of a
asked you,
sacrifice
Podesta,
if you're going to get.
Hold on,
that
Podesta.
if you believed in the Christian, if you like put yourself in the mind of a Christian and you truly thought that we had eternal bliss, you still wouldn't see that as a sacrifice. Like obviously Jesus still had people he cared about, even from like that human perspective, right? So even if I
Well, I
knew
think
I'm
when
going to
Muslims
heaven,
blow themselves
I have
up,
to
they
leave
think
my
it's less
friends
of a big deal
behind
because they're going to
temporarily,
heaven.
right? I have to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's still a sacrifice, right? If you died
Okay,
right now,
it's a
Podesta, you
sacrifice,
have
but it's
people
not
that
much
care
of a
about you.
sacrifice if you're not losing much.
Right?
Well,
So
okay,
How are you not
point is
losing
that
much?
hold
you
on.
can
I
say
don't
any pain
understand
is a
how you're saying
sacrifice
that.
of that moment that you're in
Hold on.
pain.
This is actually progress. Now it's not as much of one, but it's something, right?
Yeah, let's say that going through any pain is something you don't want to do. Therefore, you've done something you don't want to do for somebody else. So you could say that's a
Podesta,
sacrifice. Why
won't you answer my question,
if you're getting
Podesta?
renewed?
Go back and
Why
forth.
won't you
I don't
answer
understand
my
your
question,
question.
Podesta?
I want to say,
You're asking me to, from a Christian's point of view.
No, let me make it simple. I just want to, because I have to get ready for bed, so I want to ask this quick. I'll keep the stream going, but I just can't be on the mic for like a couple minutes. But I'm saying, Podesta, like if you knew, let's say you have some heaven awaiting you, but you have family around you now, you have kids, right? You have people you care about. You're gonna miss your kids like growing up, maybe getting married and stuff. So even if you end up in heaven, you're not there. You don't see that as a sacrifice.
I told you that for a human it's a sacrifice because you're sacrificing all your time on earth and you don't get it back.
Right, but that would be like Jesus. Jesus had earthly people that he knew, presumably, right?
But he
from
was
what
God.
we know.
But
I know,
Jesus
but
isn't
I'm
a
saying,
human. He was God.
No,
he is a human. He's both.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in the sense that he had the Spirit of God, right, and he was God, but
So are we doing the Maryland thing where everyone's God
he
now?
was manifested as a human, right? He came as a human, and to live as a human, to die as a human, perfectly.
So humans
And so it's
different from
different,
God?
Podesta, than a bullet getting shot in your head, and boop, then you just wake up with $1,000. Thank you, right? That's not what we're talking
He didn't
about,
even
right?
sacrifice his time. He just came back and resurrected anyway and then decided to go to heaven.
No. So this was all predestined because he's outside of time. And this is what happened. I mean, this is all.
He sacrificed 2 days.
Huh? He was sacrificed for 2 days?
Yeah, didn't he only sacrifice like 2 days on earth anyway?
Okay, well, there was a lot, but before that, he said he was sweating blood in the Garden of Gethsemane when he was praying, right? Leading up, with all the pressure and all this kind of stuff. And then listen, so like when you're on the cross, imagine getting your hands and your nails, or your hands and your feet nailed to a cross, and before that, you're whipped, you're tortured, all before that, right? And then the whole world that you created is mocking you. Okay, you made them, right? And then you get up there and you sit up there for 2 days while they just all hate and just torture you to death until you finally die. Like, that's not a sacrifice. Like,
So that's actually the bigger problem I have with Christianity is why is it if everybody's mocking him that everybody else gets a break? Didn't everybody do something wrong there? What does him dying give anybody salvation because they're the one that killed him and mocked him the whole time?
That's why
They
he
did nothing
died.
good to earn any salvation from him dying.
That's why he died. Is that so we can
Yeah, but people didn't do anything to earn salvation from him dying.
Yes,
Why did
we're not
anybody get
supposed to
salvation
earn
from
it.
him
It's a free
dying?
gift,
We
Podesta.
couldn't earn
We
it.
didn't earn
It was
it.
beforehand? They were
Well, you just give him the gift then. You don't need to kill him to get it. Nobody's done anything to earn this gift.
You realize that
They've
process
done the opposite.
matters,
They've
right?
earned not getting a gift.
If I
That's
give
the
you
whole
a
point
chance
of
to
Christianity. You just discovered the
If
whole
I-
point.
I know, that's why it doesn't make any sense. That's the biggest point of Christianity. It doesn't make any sense to me. Why do people earn a gift by doing the wrong thing?
If I give you a chance to buy something and you choose not to, and then I give it to you as a gift, is that different from me just giving it to you as a gift?
If you gave me the chance to buy something and I didn't buy it, and then you gave it to me as a gift, those two
And it
things
turned
are
out you
different.
really
Yes,
needed
go
it.
on. Those two
Right.
things are different things. So
Or I
how's
just
that got
gave
anything
it
to
to
do
you
with what I
as
was
a
asking?
gift. Is there a difference? How would you
Was
view
the
the
last
two
one?
things?
I mean, it's still a free gift, right?
I mean, in
You've
the
given
end,
me a gift.
the result is the same, but the process is different. The process matters.
So if I'm running around killing people and then you give me a gift because I was killing people, then I think that's good. Killing people earns me gifts.
No, I didn't give you a gift because you're killing people. I
But he
gave
said,
you a
here's-
gift because
While I was killing people, what if I killed you and you gave me a gift for killing you?
people?
Now we have peace with God. We can have a relationship with a holy God because of Christ. Christ came.
I don't know why he needed to die. I don't know why you could have just done that without him dying.
Well, no,
I don't understand what the
well,
die
here's why.
comes. Him dying and resurrection just
Because of
fixes
free will,
anything.
that's why. Because we had free will, we made the wrong choice, and we're fucked up people, and we do the wrong stuff, right? So
That could have just never happened, and you'd still be in the same situation where you can just have a
robots, right?
relationship with God.
we would
You didn't
be
need
we
Jesus
would,
to die.
he would wind us up and he would let us run, right? Like a, you know, like a Roomba. We'd just be Roombas, you know, sophisticated Roombas. And that's not love, right? He wanted a family of people freely, right? That's deeper. That's love, right? You know, dragging your kid through the mall on a leash isn't love, but when you're walking next to each other, that's love, right?
Yeah.
So that's the whole point of it all. And so,
I didn't need to die for that. My parents didn't die for me to love them.
right, but the difference is, he loves us, right? And
And my parents loved me.
Yeah, he loves everyone. He loves all of us. It says that God's will is for all mankind to come to the knowledge of truth and salvation through Jesus, right? And it says whenever Jesus died, this is the reason, because in the old covenant, God, the way God had revealed himself to humanity was through the Jewish people, right? He made a covenant with them. They had like 613 laws. They dressed different, ate different, you know, treated their employees, slaves at the time. Everything was treated different, right? You're going to act different in all these ways. The Gentiles didn't really have a God. So then all these miracles happened. Jesus came to live perfectly by, and so the law that came to, the 600 something laws, was also there to expose what sin was and kind of give us that objective moral code and boundary that we live by. And then when Jesus came and he lived perfectly by it, his blood was sufficient. So now the whole world, the Jew and the Gentile, everybody else, can all have peace with a holy God, right? Through him. And so it says he pours out his spirit upon all mankind, which is basically he's going to draw and try to lead everyone to him. And
So he had all these people following him, right? Because everybody was impressed by his miracles and all the things he used to say, and they liked him. He had apostles. So why didn't he need to die? He was already getting a following.
I'll tell you why
Everybody loved him.
to die, because here's the problem, right? God is holy and perfect. So imagine a judicial system, okay? If you've ever broken the law, okay, ever, you can't come into the presence of a perfect and holy God. So the only way to do that is by Christ, who is our mediator, it says. So that's why he came to die, so that anyone who believes in him, so all of our sin, and all, it says the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life in Christ Jesus, our Lord, right? So if there's punishment for sin, just like if you speed or break the law, there's punishments, right? He came to pay for the whole judicial. I did the time. I did 20 years for you, and I paid all the fines, and so now you can walk freely with a God. Like, that's kind of how I would say it. Like,
He didn't need to die to do that.
yeah, he did, because beforehand the Jewish people had to go to atonement once a year to sacrifice bulls and goats, and they had to
Only
be
Jewish people. Lots of people on the earth didn't do that.
right. Yeah, a lot of people on the earth didn't have the option to do
He's
that.
just here to save the Jewish. What about all the other races who didn't have that culture?
And that's the whole point of some of the Gentiles were still saved. It wasn't that. It was just that the world was already corrupt because of man, because they chose to do what they did. So it's their fault that we chose to do the wrong thing, right? And so now we're born into this world where it's impossible to not sin. So that's why we can still have a relationship with a perfect God, even though we sin, because Christ has already came. So that's why, because he didn't come. If he didn't
the
come,
fundamental point of you could do all that without him dying.
No, how are you going to talk to a perfect God if you're separated from him?
The same way you do if you
2 minutes. So we have to unfortunately finish this.
I don't know. I don't know if we're making progress at the moment, because I don't see why him dying makes it necessary to talk to God. There's other religions that don't have Jesus that talk to God.
No, you can still talk to God. Anybody can talk to God. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what.
We're talking about the sin that is it accounted towards you, or is it not, right? Because how are you going to pay for even if you're good and you're really good for the rest of your life, you've still been bad. And so there has to be a consequence for that. You could go to court and be like, look, I didn't speed for 20 years.
Yeah, that's all fine. I don't disagree with that. I don't say that it needs Jesus to die for any of that logic works fine without Jesus dying.
It's because this
you can you can run that entire logic through without Jesus dying, and you can still create a religion where Jesus didn't need to die.
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why, Noggins, because this is why my theology is different than yours. The reason he had to die, I don't believe in penal substitutionary atonement and all that stuff. Christ had to die so that he could become Christ the victor. Christ could trample down death by death, and upon those in the tombs bestowing life. That's exactly why he had to die. Number two,
Prove
he had
that
to
he could
harrow.
resurrect.
He had to harrow Hades. What's that?
To prove that he can resurrect, that he can beat death.
He had to do that so that he could
Guys,
join himself with humanity.
I have to end in like 1 minute. Final
Oh,
thoughts
he's
from
changed
each
to the
of
bed
you.
picture.
I'll
The
see you
bed
guys
background means it's shutting down.
I love you guys. Bye.
Yes, unfortunately, I have a heart out. Okay.
Maybe we'll get another chance to take this further next time.
We'll be doing the same video tomorrow. So if you guys want to stop back, we can definitely pick up where we left off. I'm sorry to do this, but I do. It's a hard out.
I'm usually working. But
I was trying to speed through it.
All right. God bless you
You got
guys.
work.
Take care.
God bless you, buddy.
All right.
Confluence, rate us to
Thanks,
Mr.
K2.
Bill. Rate us to Mr. Bill.
Wait, we can still go. I can still rant here.
Yeah, still rant. He's looking for a raid. I'm trying to get it where people see that he's raiding other people, the more people raid him, and then more new viewers.
That's actually a great idea, yeah.
Well, Christ had to trample down death by death. He joined with humanity so that man could resurrect. Man is essentially following after him. That's the whole reason he had to do it. The second is he had to harrow Hades to get everybody else out of Hades that was in Hades from prior. And yeah, that's essentially it's like the recapitulation of humanity. Christ is the new Adam, and the Theotokos, Mary, is the new Eve. There you go. I tried to very quickly lay out the theology there. And damn it, I had more time.
I mean,